Not worth it to hunt out the aspect of a god.
In reality, how much is adventuring worth, period? Like,
Yeah. I think that this was the closest, like, because we were going based off milestones. This is probably the closest that you went from actually getting the XP requirements when I did the math to go from level 9 to level 10. So. Oh, and Ryan, I still have your crock pot. I should probably bring that. I might bring that over today.
Okay, sounds good.
Cruise was
How
good
did that
though.
go? Did that work out as you needed?
I got, it was nearly perfect amount of food. It was, so if you ever know, 17 pounds of pulled pork for 69 people.
Ooh.
But yeah, I had to split it across 3. It actually made it a lot easier because like when you were looking at the recipe for 70, you're like, how do I even fathom this amount? It was like the amount of Coca-Cola that it called for was silly. And it's like this many ounces. I'm like, why don't you just tell me like 24 cans? But then the recipe itself doesn't adjust. It's just like the amounts and the ingredients. So when I only did it like tripled it was a lot easier than 7 timesing things and then dividing it across 3 things. So
yeah, for real, yeah.
I don't know. Figured it out. All worked out. Everything was good. Good baby shower.
Good.
So, but the cruise was good too.
Yeah, it was really good. Both Joe and Toby got sick on the cruise.
Of course.
Of course. But for the most part, they were able to enjoy it, and it was good. There were so many whales. It was cool.
I guess yeah, they should all be. It's like right migration time.
Yeah, that's right where they're at in their migration. So I figured we'd see some whales, but I didn't think they would be everywhere.
Because I guess yeah, because they should be, because don't they all breed down at like the bottom of Baja?
Yeah. So we did like a snorkel trip down in Cabo, and like as we were taking the little boat out to like go find the reef to snorkel at, they were just jumping around us. Like it was so cool.
That's what, yeah. When we went in March to Cabo last year, you could just stand out on the beach and it didn't take long. They had a bell to say that whales were jumping, and that bell went off like every other hour.
Yeah, it was cool. It was super cool.
Cool. Well, good. Huh. Well, TJ, were you able to get your character updated?
I think so.
Oh, do I have you guys on the wrong map? I think I might.
The latitude for Salt Lake City, Utah is 40.7769 degrees north, and its longitude is 111.93099 degrees west.
Thank you. I don't know if you guys heard.
Yeah. Alexa, okay, say something dirty.
No.
Okay, my spell slots didn't change, but I did get Aura of Courage. We can't get scared within my little circle now if I'm unconscious.
Ooh.
Is it scared and charmed, I think?
Let's see.
I don't know. I feel like that's something else.
It says you can't you and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you can't be frightened while you are conscious.
Okay, so it's just frightened.
Because we've been frightened so many times in all these years.
Yeah. Yeah, the charmed one would be better because if you have creatures that can do like dominate person, that handles that. So okay, well, anyways, starting today is the 5th of Uslan the 5th of Qusar, which is a new month. You've traveled about 2,315 miles, and you need to be back in Zadash by the 16th of Duskar, which is about 39 days. And then last adventure, you found Clive in the sewers, who had fought off a bunch of rats using a door and and his crossbow. He survived, and you headed out the way you came and made it out double time. You went back to Navis, who you arrived in the early evening, handed over the heart, and as it touched her hands, the city and the surrounding areas immediately started to reverse in time, becoming beautiful again as the void above the city exploded into purple and silver sparks. Navis ran off to the city, and you all kept up as well as you could behind her. Carrick had to be carried because he failed his athletics role so hard. You got a hero's welcome in Gelsine. The party walked through the city with a bunch of the people trying to figure out what had happened. You were given food and beer as you walked through. Clive was super stoked for the praise. You guys gave Clive a short sword and called it the Rat's Bane. He appreciated the gesture, but did not believe it was anything special. You are led into the castle, which looks great now, full of food and revelry. Led up to the parlor. You had a feast. You learned that the portal you had entered had closed. You have a good old night of drinking and stories. Your rewards, Navis gave you each 2,000 gold and also a necklace of fireballs that had, I think, was it 3 or 4 beads? King Jaros, super gregarious and bombastic in his speech. You were given a plot of land and a spot on the council. Clive was very excited about this. Builds you a tuning. He and the other drow wizard Jalenvir built you a fork to return to Exandria using your silver raven statue. You also got some spices, some asafoetida. Oh, can't say that word. Adobo and some RC cola root. And then Jalenvir gave you all a scroll of teleportation circle. Clive decided to stay, but before that, he gave a letter instructing the Vellum Steeple to kind of let Zorko run the encampment that you had left in the woods. Yep, you were then plane shifted back to where you were. You now have an Exandrian tuning fork for plane shift. It matches the one to Faerun that you had gotten when you left Icewind Dale. As you left, most of you realized that this place is an exact replica of books you've seen and read in your youths. Then found that all the things you brought back looked hand-drawn and cool. You landed back in the clearing you had left only 14 hours worse for wear. There was a party at the outpost. You put Zorko in charge, or you helped put Zorko in charge, and he began getting things in order when you left. You gave them the money from Clive, telling Zorko to use this to grow the town. You got sunlight potions from the vaults of the Vellum Steeple. You got a party night. You found very happy Bugs, who's going to stay as the bar back here. Chonk is ready to continue and chewed on some RC cola root. Zorko declared independence and sends you back to Shady Creek with some guides since they need to give their resignation for the camp. Back in Shady Creek, you arrive midday on the 27th of Quinn Pilar, met Hank and Harrison, got some gossip, but shooed them off with a 1 gold bribe. You met Swinton and Tiburon. You hired them for 14 gold a week. They made you stuff. The contingency band, they showed off, being punched by Thel, a set of 3 greater and 1 regular healing potions. You met with Ophelia, who gave you a rundown of what's happened while you were gone. Rufus left after losing the vote, head to Rexentrum. Jagoda is in good standing, setting up more hunts and staying out of her hair. Business is going great now. She's going to go down to Zadash in a week to kind of be there for your win, as she says it, and start doing business with the gentleman. You chose not to stay and wait for her to be leaving with her, but headed out ASAP. You have a very powerful ally here now. You got some info on Marith. pompous, can't really rise ranks, and he's kind of a mid-level dude that has aspirations. When you got back to the Empire, before going, you bought a cart. You tried to get, at the borders, people tried to shake you down. You made him piss himself by magic and paid 75 gold on your way out. You got to level 10, you started your wages as dash, planning on planning on stopping a day at Spud's. 5 days later, you got this, and Felix got a visit from his patron. You gave over the axe and were gifted a black book of secrets chained to his waist by a smoky gold and silver chain, only seen by Felix. The one thing that we didn't cover because people were gone is what, if you wanted over these 5 days Swinton or Tiburon to be doing anything, you would have had to spend the money while in Shady Creek. So if there's any like potions you wanted to make or have them help you with things or start enchanting something or helping anyway, is there anything you want them to do, or are they just taking these 5 days kind of off?
They have been working hard. They deserve some time off.
Okay. 5 days. I mean, so if that's the case, then you'd probably be giving them the time off all the way back to Zadash.
I think that's fine.
Okay, that's fine. If anyone else wants them to do things, we can retcon it. Just say if you come up with something, you can think of it. Okay, where are we? You guys all are coming down through the Glory Run Road, a place you've traveled before. It's very uneventful. It's almost like since there's been so much troop movement through these places, kind of, setting up, getting people to the Rock Guard garrison, the Ash Guard garrison, sending people down to Blade Garden. Like the roads are pretty clear because you wouldn't want to be around the roads when, a few thousand army men are walking through. So it's a very easy, simple way down. You do get down to the edge of the Crisp Vale thicket. You kind of have a choice to go straight through the woods, probably about you could save half a day. I think last time we said you didn't. Went around. The only kind of fear is, getting close to Hupperduke might be a little dangerous because although your names are all in the clear, that is where you kind of ran away from being conscripted. That is where you went AWOL, so to speak. So kind of skirt that and you start heading to where what's his name is there, where Spud's places. And as you walk through, you do indeed see it's been about 3 or 4 months, or 2 months, 3 months since you left here, and you're seeing a budding potato farm out on the southern edges. It looks incredibly well plowed. Like a lot of care and effort has been put into this entire area, and just as his name would say, Spuds is growing nothing but potatoes here. Nothing but potatoes. There's potatoes as far as the eye can see. What is the growth time of a potato plant?
I would ask you that question.
The long one. It's like all season. You have to
Yeah,
wait
it's
for them to like
constant.
die down for them to harvest.
90 growth time is 90 to 120 days. So these are
half the time because he's a druid.
Yeah, that's what I'd say is probably the most time was spent actually doing the planting and plowing and all of that. But you actually had some help, or he had some help. And never mind, I will let that for be a later time. This is like it's in full about to be harvested mode of potatoes as you're walking through. And whether or not this is the first batch or the second batch, because that he at least said that this was very good earth for potatoes. Sandy, and I can't remember what, we looked that up a long time ago. I think it's sandier dirt is good for it. But yeah, you go through and it seems there's a marched trail going through. the entirety of this. Like, it looks like it's gotten a lot of foot traffic. You do remember that this is going to kind of be like a stopping point, safe point for people traveling to the garrison, traveling to Blade Garden, and just have like a kind of set up some sort of post to protect Hupperdew kind of in between those two. So there's that. As you come through, you do also see that the buildings have kind of been patched up. They were on a lot of disrepair the last time you came. The like big manor house is nice, and the bunk house is nice. There's also quite a few like semi-permanent tent houses that it looks like where they have made some barracks for, kind of this temporary, National Guard type place, reserve guard for, that's out of sight in this thicket, and but able to protect Hupperdew. So what do you guys want to do? Just want to go hang out, go say hi and take a rest with your old buddy Spuds?
Gotta get some potatoes for for Christopher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good cooking potatoes.
Get some good cooking potatoes. But okay, yeah, so you guys come out there, and like kind of as you go through these places, you see probably about 40 to 50 army men, soldiers, that's what they're called, that are kind of camped and just like doing small patrols around the area. All of them kind of like look odd to you, but like kind of nod as you're coming there. It's not uncommon for people to come here to trade or do things like that. Yeah, and none of you are drow, so they don't immediately get up in arms. Yeah, so you get to the mansion and that main area. Ooh, do I actually still have that map? Should have that map. Might be in the archive folders. Okay. I wish you could right click and automatically move you to it without dragging this little flag. Yes, last time you were here, it looked like this, but now it's looking much nicer. A lot of the, like broken things that you saw were patched up. And yeah, Spud still just has 40 hit points as opposed to your guys' 116. Yeah, so as you walk in, you do see the little druid Spuds kind of just walking back. It is, late afternoon, maybe just finished tilling the field. What do y'all do?
We come in there and give them a big old,
A big greeting.
big old hug. Yeah.
Yeah, your other goes, "Oh, guys, it's been so long. What are you doing here?" I don't remember Spud's voice. Jake gave me the notes of S's equals Z's, and and I went to go find the video of it, but it's on Twitch, and I couldn't find it. It was like, I think it was like the adventure before you moved to YouTube. But It's funny. Yeah, he comes and he gives you a as much as he can. He comes up to your hip, like hits you on the side of it. It's like, so good to see you. Thanks for coming by. You must have been having some adventures up there.
Indeed,
See,
indeed it was.
things are going pretty crazy here. I just want to grow my potatoes, but I gotta also deal with all these people around.
I come back with spices of the other worlds, and I wanted to just test them out, you know.
Oh, wonderful! You want to cook us up a little feast?
That's the plan.
There's yeah. Oh, well, I got plenty of taters, any kind you want. We got red ones, we got yellow ones, we got brown ones, we got purple ones. So we got some taters. We don't have, a lot of other things, but we do got taters. Okay.
One of each.
He goes, yeah. Oh, here, come on into this house is way too big, and he leads you into the mansion, which we don't even like. I didn't even show. There is a second floor to this mansion. That would be where the actual houses are or rooms are. But nothing of importance. Like, yep. I'll probably have to introduce you to the this might be my plot of land, but it is kind of being run by Righteous Brand and their and oh well, what's her name? Oh yeah, Pasha. She's kind of the head of this little reserve that they got going on here. So should probably introduce you to her, 'cause she is a little leery about strangers, trying to protect the land. But yeah, you guys are welcome to stay for a little bit as well. We're about to harvest for a bit, and some good strong hands might help. Speaking of strong hands, it was very nice of you to send down those two people. They said that they were your friends, and they were able to help me till this land up just great. Do you have any recollection of who those two people are?
Yeah, those people we just said, screw it, send them this. Don't deal with it. Goodbye.
I remember doing that, but I don't remember who they are.
They are nothing. They are no-name NPCs that you saved from potential slavery and sent down to work with Spuds.
They gave just enough shit to not sell them into slavery, and that's about it.
Yeah. But yeah, they're great workers. We're fast friends. Oh, what's their names? Those? They don't have names. They are Farmer 1 and Farmer 2. Yeah, they're I just call them Mr. and Mrs. Farmer.
They really don't have names, huh?
Well, they do. I just know them as the Farmers. That's their last name.
Oh,
So I just call him Mr. or Miss. Yeah,
Makes
so
sense.
he leads you in. Is there dynamic lighting turned on?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just turn it off for this. There's not that it really matters. This could all just be theater of mind, but there you go. So you're led in. It looks like he takes you into the kind of like the little parlor to sit down and talk for a bit. You guys have a little bit. You do notice that the piano has like a big tarp over it that says "Do not touch."
Is that the one that hit me in the balls or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the one that hits you in the balls and also opens up the disc underneath to get to the upside down.
Yeah. Leave that alone.
And he goes, yeah, I just, last time we used that saying. I know that you said it could make some things real, that Mr. Character, but I don't want any of these. It's busy enough with all these soldiers. I don't want a bunch of wizards coming down and making a mess of my place, because I'm pretty sure they'd be interested in whatever the heck's going on down there. Yeah, so he talks and he's like, you guys stay here, take a load off, and I'll go get what was his name? I'll go get Pasha and bring her down. Just do a quick introduction. Don't do that, and then we can get some good old stews going, Mr. the Barbarian. Yeah, so he goes off. Anything you guys want to do until he comes back?
No, I'll just keep going. I'm gonna make some adobo potato.
Yeah, you don't even wait for Pasha to come back. You just go find the kitchen and walk back into there. And you do see there's a ton of potatoes. There's, just some standard, like your standard vegetables and meats, like maybe like a couple chickens that are plucked and pulled and on some sort of ice, and so that's so you can start doing whatever you're going to do there.
I'm gonna pocket just 2 potatoes to make some commemorative potato grenades.
Okay. So you pocket 2 potatoes. You get these though, like these are like good looking potatoes. The waxiness on the red potatoes is like a nice cover. The size of the brown potatoes or the russets and that they're big, like these are Pioneer size potatoes. I think everyone here knows that reference. Everyone here has been to the Pioneer.
Yeah.
So
Felix historically does not like potatoes.
I forgot about this.
This is brand new. No, this is brand new just today.
Oh, so it's not historically. It is.
No, it is historic.
Just not history that anyone knows.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So you start cooking. So think about what you're gonna make. While the rest of you kind of just sitting in this lobby. Like there is a fire. Like that is the one weird thing. Those potatoes are growing very well. It is essentially late November or mid-November now. Like you are past general harvest time, which I don't know the harvesting of potatoes. And like where your meridian is would be like northern Montana. So you are not in a lower latitude where you can grow things year round. You're at things are going dormant now. But the potatoes are looking great, and maybe there's magic in them hills, and a druid farming them. So you do see Little Spuds comes in with this, kind of taller half elf woman. Comes in and like has is in righteous brand uniform, but not like fully armored. And they say, "Oh, it seems that you're friends of our." She comes she introduced herself as Pasha O'Toole, head of the Hupperduke Reserve forces that kind of had been sent down from Grimgalier to Nogvarat, sent down from there to kind of post up and be kind of your first wave or second wave of defense if something comes through. And she says, it seems our humble farmer, Mr. Spud said, or Prinklepots said that you are our old friends coming through for a quick visit. Can I get your names? It's always good to see strong people come through, and obviously he speaks highly of you, so you must be good stock.
I like to think we somehow printed out a business card that is the
Four Daddies
romance novel. Yeah, I keep going back to that.
You guys got a set of cards made. That's actually what Tiburon and Swinton have been working on. They've been just doing like some hand calligraphy business cards. They're going Do you like that idea? Because they can roll to see how good their calligraphy skills were in making these cards. They'll do it with advantage because it's two of them helping each other.
Of course, Swinton would be into drawing whatever that cover was.
What would calligraphy would be dexterity? And that's a 17. These are pretty nice looking
Beautiful.
cards, and they've made about 30 of them that are just on like some hard. Does card stock even exist in this world?
I saw Velium exists on something else. I remember.
Yes, vellum exists, so that's not
That's
floppy ass paper.
yeah.
No, they like what they actually end up doing is it's like cut up these like pieces of bark and then burn it in using, kind of Swinton's medical precision and Tiburon's magical abilities are able to, make you these like hard, thinner wooden cards that you can hand out. What does the card say on it though? Does it just say the Four Daddies?
No, we think the pregnant woman is obvious that we, like to look out for
They are not drawing
those in need. Like obviously.
Yes. Yeah, it's a business card. Just kind of is your guys' name, just that you're adventurers for hire. Oh well.
What would contact information even look like in this world?
It would be like a name and a description of you so that they could send a message magically. Well, if you guys had an actual home or a home base, you could put that down. But you guys are just wanderers.
Yeah.
You guys are murder hobos without the murder part.
I mean, it's been a while since we murdered.
Yeah,
I mean,
you guys solve problems without just killing. You guys are just standard, just wandering adventurers, and that's what it says on the card. Like, this is a card you give them and then tell them where you're going to be for the next couple days.
That makes sense.
Last time I tried to murder things, I got punished by my god, so I just gotta stay out of that.
Yeah, you wanted to kill the poor kobolds that were totally like, we surrender. But yeah, so she talks and just gives you kind of the lowdown. Kind of what I've said is they've kind of posted up here as just first responders to anything that might happen in Hupperduke, but also kind of under the radar of not in one of the main military bases of Blade Garden, Ashkeep Garrison, and the other one. So she says it's been good. We've helped Mr. Pinglepot repair this area and kind of have it as a defensible standpoint. As long as we don't get in his hair too much. This is, and I imagine that once this war is over, we hope soon, we can just give it back to him and not do this kind of eminent domain type of bullshit. It's not how I like to run. But luckily he's about the nicest dude that just helps people out that we've ever met. But yeah, so there are some weird things around here. Sometimes some weird magical stuff happens. So just be on your toes. I don't know if you've been to this place before, but so just be on your toes. We'll stay out of your hair. You're welcome to join our ranks. You see your adventurers. It might not be the most adventurous thing here, but you will be protecting key resources to this great empire. I need to go do my rounds and check in with the watch that just came back. So if you have nothing else for me, I will see my way out.
Okay. All right. See ya.
Yeah. see ya, boss man. Yeah, so you guys are you're cooking dinner. Christopher, what are you making?
This thing that I can't pronounce, I'm gonna get rid of that real quick. I think it's like garlic, so it sounds right
Yeah,
for
it's like
potatoes,
garlic. That's what we said.
so we don't have to pronounce that again.
Okay. So you're using a garlic, like making a garlic chicken and potatoes.
Yeah, and turnip toes for Felix.
Turnip
So we
toes.
can use
Oh
that.
yes, you do have the turnip toes.
Yeah,
Where did the turnip toes come from?
shambling mound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We have 10 of those. So now
So
we
you
have
make,
9 of
so
those.
you make just some like roasted turnips or
Just this, I don't know, same thing.
a turnip salad.
Yeah,
What do you use turnips for?
soup.
Yeah,
Boring
that's
soup. Boring ass soup.
that's I feel like the turnip is the vegetable I have used the least in my life.
I don't know. I've ever done a thing with the turnip.
It's like a not spicy radish. Anyways, yeah, you make some turnip something, some garlic sliced turnip, some mashed potatoes, some boiled potatoes, some fried potatoes, and some garlic chicken. Go ahead and make your roll. I will give you since most of this is vegetable except for the garlic chicken, you can use your +1 for your vegetarian.
Alright.
I will not say that this is a strength-based cooking check.
I was about to say this is a strength based.
This would probably be, I'll give you a wisdom or a dexterity. Because you're making a whole bunch of different things. So dexterity would be like making sure that nothing cooks bad. Wisdom would be knowing how to use all these potatoes in different ways. Hey, 16. What skill did you use?
That was dexterity. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, anyone that goes back to the kitchen to like kind of help sees Christopher not like he's in an actual kitchen as opposed to cooking like on the road with bad moose meat, and is just flying around making all these different types of potatoes. Spuds is in there kind of just doing a little sous chefing, like peeling the potatoes that are needed, is doing the prep work. And yeah, you have a great meal for the 5 of you. You guys have your own private meal. The soldiers and all that have their own rations, own kitchen somewhere, so they're doing that. Yeah, is there anything you guys want to talk about, or like really, is there anything you want to do here besides just a little role play situation with what's going on with Spuds? Oh yeah, there's also Chonk is with you. So there's 6 of you. Chonk's just sitting there being silent, just baffled by being in this like kind of not baffled, but like reacclimating to being somewhere that's not, the frigid north in like the amenities are much better here than he's been used to in a long time. So he's just kind of silent at this point. He's talked with you enough for the past 5 days.
Well, it seems like things are going pretty well here. Is there any update on like the war effort and like what's going on with the war? Because we don't know anything about what's happening with the war. So maybe Spuds can give us some input on that.
Yeah, this is secondhand, at least from my conversations with Pasha. It seems it's been pretty cold recently. That's at least what they're saying, that it's kind of over the past 2 months. It's kind of been doing the getting things from place to place, the logisticals, getting things set up. But I'm just a little farmer man that they don't tell me a ton, but it seems that not tons changed. It's the conscription is done, so that's nice. They kind of have got things going, and they're just more the resource gathering before on a soul tour or something like that. It seems you guys remembered the last war, which is the last time you guys were in they were in active combat was about 6 years ago. And that was much more of an aggression from the Jorhasian side to the Gwendolian Empire side, and he said this one feels a little like the opposite of that. So I'm wondering, you know, it's a little scary sitting here, like kind of that, but it seems, at least from what I hear, that they're you know, kind of preparing for maybe a little bit of a assault into the Jorhasian side, and maybe just I don't know, show of force, show of that. I don't really even know what it is. The only other thing they definitely have been doing is down in Felderwind, where you know, a lot of good farming is. They sent quite a big detachment down there to kind of rid the elves that have been proselytizing whatever god they worship and all that down there. I know that was kind of, you know, one of the problems was, I think that people were trying to get in from down south. So there's a lot going on down there. If you want to keep away from it, we'll go back to the regular map so you would know where that actually is. Yeah, and he kind of tells you, yeah, exactly that. It's kind of been cold. Not a lot of, you know, there's been a few skirmishes, but no like actual assault. But what he gathers, it seems they're moving more troops up that way, or have moved more troops to the eastern borders to maybe be preparing an assault. Because, you know, he says like there used to be a lot of more guards here, but they've like kind of slimmed down from, you know, a few hundred down to just 50 that are moving, you know, to those different areas. We want this one. This one will do. Yeah, he says that's all I can really tell you about the war. I'm just growing potatoes. In fact, honestly, they've been buying up these potatoes like hotcakes. I make a good little sum of money that, you know, sometimes when I want to make sure that nothing bad happens to it, I open up that little portal and hide it down there. That's like an invisible bank. It's like it's a lot better than underneath my mattress. So it's like, and you guys are welcome to go check that out again if you want. Otherwise, it's just been good seeing you. I know that you probably have a bunch of other business to get down to. You're welcome to stay here for a few days if you want to take a load off. Or like I said, I'll happily hire you for 5 silver every 3 days. So what's that?
Is that how much you're paying the farmers?
Yeah.
And how much are you making on a potato?
That's my own business. I realize that that's a lot funnier now, man. Because I have no idea.
I never thought he was as shrewd as he is, apparently.
Or what is his intelligence?
Oh, I don't remember.
I didn't even think that.
Let's see. What is his intelligence?
You know, he says, like, yeah, I only pay him 5 silver every 3 days, but they do get free food and lodging. So
he's got a +1 in intelligence.
Yeah, so he's not
dumb.
Smart. Yeah, I think he feels he shouldn't be paying them. He doesn't care about the money that much, but why? Like, if he's giving them free food and lodging,
He's giving them potatoes. He's giving them more better than silver.
Yes. He's like, yeah. So you guys are kind of left to your own devices. Like, if you wanted to, you could try to go down into the upside down and fiddle with that contraption again, or it's just a fun little visit with your friend.
Yep, that sounds right. The second one.
This fun little visit. Okay. Well, there's nothing else. You guys can all wake up the next morning, and Spuds is already up down in the fields, doing. Or do you do anything throughout the night? I'd imagine Carrick scribes spells as he always does.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, you can get 4 hours in.
Nice.
Oh my lord, look at this map. So many lines. But yeah, so this town down here, Filderwind, is kind of, they've sent people down that way because it seems a lot of people had headed down that way, or there have been a lot of drow just general traveling. But that's kind of one of the main sore spots with why this war started, was the kind of proselytizing that they were doing down there and the mission work that is illegal in this country. And essentially they've told the Jorhasian government to don't do this, please don't do this. Reasons behind that is when there was a huge amount of religious worship, essentially the efficiency of the empire lacked, because everyone was having their own ideals. So when they cut it down, they kind of like cut it down to, these are our approved deities to worship because they all kind of align, and we can have a system that works correctly, that doesn't have a lot of infighting. So religion, man.
What's the little there's a purple circle all the way in the bottom left.
Oh, that purple circle, you would remember, is you were told that there might be werewolves down there.
Oh man.
That, yes,
Cool.
that is when you were leaving. That was forever ago. I can't remember how you found out, but there's rumors of werewolves in the Siren Green Forest that they said were against the mountains to the south. So that's kind of the general location you were getting.
Hey, the purple path, I can't remember where. There was one that was blocked off or collapsed or something, but I don't remember if it was here or the one in the forest or the one in Zadash.
So all the three that you have seen are the one in Zadash that was blocked off underneath the Victory Pit. The one in the right by the Unterlock was also blocked off. That was where the Separatist cave was. And then the one in the mountains right by Hupperduke is the one that got exploded as you were trying to pursue the drow that ran through that. So those are the three that you have actually seen and know are exploded and collapsed. The last thing that you also did know is that there was correspondence saying to like kind of, our work here is done, collapse the tunnels.
Right.
So you like the best of your knowledge, you could think that all of them are probably collapsed in some capacity. Whether or not that means that you couldn't, get through them or go around them, or if people have maybe gone around them, but that also these tunnels then go deep underground.
Okay.
But so there's all of that. And each one of these kind of point to something that happened in that area that helped lead to this war happening. Like the one in Talonstadt, there was a lot of, Talonstadt's kind of where all of the Dragonborn live, in kind of this tent city. And there they were kind of like surreptitiously like taking it out of the empire and like incorporating it more with Jorhas. And Felderwin was kind of the proselytizing we were hearing about. Zadash was the victory pit. That separatist cave just kind of seemed like a central ground. Up in the mountains, you had the guy trying to explode Hupperduke, and you don't know what was going on up at that other one in Druvenlode, but that's kind of with all the pieces and kind of what you've gotten from all the research or all the things that you've seen over the past 6 months. That's kind of what you know about those tunnels.
Right. How much time do we have to get from where we are back to Zadash?
You have 38 days.
38.
And we said it'll take roughly from where you are, as the crow flies, it is 292 miles. 292 divided by 25 is 11 days. So I would say it's probably about 15 days down there. So
I wonder if it would be worth trying to go up to this one that we know of up here and making our way into that tunnel. What do you guys think? Because it's faster to travel through those, right? Isn't that the theory?
That is the theory. You just would have no idea if it's open or how crumbled it. That's the risk. Is you could get halfway through and it'll be completely collapsed.
Okay.
So, you can do whatever you want in that regard. Getting to the one, it would take you about a day and a half to get up to that one. And roll an intelligence check. Yeah. So with a 22, kind of exactly like I said, you don't know if it's totally crumbled. There is a definite risk. You do also know that that area was completely taken over by the guard and army because where that cave was in that workshop, and so it's been completely that is definitely under control of the righteous brand in that. So you can pause it might be hard to you're not going to be able to just walk in there.
Okay.
Probably what you would think is your better bet would be sure it's further away, but that cave in that cave, the separatist cave, the bandit cave that you guys went through, that would be probably safer in those regards and easier to access. But like I said, it doesn't save you quite as much time because you don't get to go straight. But, so
okay.
So
well, unless we want to try and do that, we can keep on moving.
Yeah. Yeah, we just want to keep on moving. Let's give you guys a new color on this map. What color should we use? We'll go with red was going up, green's coming down. So you guys came down from here. And now you're heading back down. You would remember you didn't take the road last time because you cut through. That blue circle is the giant tower, or the tower that you guys collapsed in the fog. No, there's no fog there anymore, and just the collapsed tower. So otherwise, it's still about the same travel time if you want to go. So I'll just start moving you guys, and you just tell me if there's anything you want to do on any night that you're headed down. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's been about, at this point, probably, how many days did I say it was going to take total?
15.
15. Yeah. So if I just measure from here, 144 plus 120 is 260. So it's been about 10 days. So when you get to here, this would be kind of a point of this. This would be where you cut off to go into that cave if you wanted to check it out, or you guys can just keep continuing on to Zadash. So, you know, in you know, thinking of this, you guys have been on the road, kind of always moving for the past 4 months. So it is completely believable that, like, hey, there's all these things going on and we could check these things out, but maybe we just get to someplace and have a little bit of downtime. So, but if anyone wants to, you can stop
To deal
anywhere.
with my beard too. Is that a permanent thing?
Oh, yeah. Every single day you have to roll a D100. So roll 10 D100s. If it goes over a 50, you have a thicker beard every single time. Thicker and longer. There's probably a stopping point. Okay, so 5D10, 5D10. You got over it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So your beard right now, if you're not doing anything, is probably about down to like sternum. And
Yeah,
it's not like those guys that want to have a long beard and at the end it gets really wispy. This is just thick. just you could hide a mouse in this thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a squirrel living in your
Yeah.
beard. What is it? The moles? What do we always get out of the bag of tricks?
Oh, the ferrets. Yes.
Weasel. That's it. The
okay. There's a weasel that just you wake up one day that's just nestled in it. I would say on the road, Carrick, you can probably be scribing another 2 to 4 hours a day. There's no way that you won't be able to finish your. I think that's what we said. That most on the road you can scribe like 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's been 20 hours worth of scribing that you've had.
That is a wild amount of scribing.
I'm gonna start braiding. Yeah, I'm gonna start like braiding and doing little like shells and bones in it.
Okay,
yeah.
make a dexterity check or a charisma check, depending on what you want, for how well the braids are versus how aesthetically pleasing it is.
I'm going for like I don't know, aesthetics. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are like quite handy in braiding, probably because like as your time as an outlander, you like had to like weave baskets or those types of things or braid ropes, like make your own like hand braided ropes sometimes. So your braiding is impeccable. But so it looks good. It does have like bones in it, which is wild. you guys all look like mountain men at this point. You've never like stopped to like really clean up, unless people like are taking the time to really clean themselves up. Like
Felix definitely does.
Felix
he's a prim and proper boy.
Okay, Felix is doing his best to still look like he hasn't been on the road for 6 months.
Oh, he probably smells like ass.
You guys smell wild. That's why Pasha was so quick to get out of there.
Yeah, makes sense. Did Spuds give any potatoes for the road?
Oh yeah, you guys get a sack of. You get a sack of fingerlings, a sack of red potatoes, a sack of Yukon Golds, a sack of russets. You got potatoes for days.
You don't think that's going on the list?
Oh, of course it's going on the list. Apparently, Christopher was keeping track of some weird ass the turnip toes that he's had for. Which also, that's how long do turnips last? Because you got those like 2 months ago.
I mean, of all things, turnips are the things that they don't. They start meh, and they're always meh.
So you said fingerlings, russets, red and yellow potatoes?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I don't know other types of potatoes. I've noticed that every cooking person on YouTube always uses Yukon Golds to make mashed potatoes, and I think that it's heresy. My
mean,
That's an
Idaho
opinion.
That is an opinion. That is I was born and raised in Idaho opinion. And maybe it's just because I know how to make the other ones better. So.
And the secret is always just a shit ton of butter. So
Shit ton of butter, shit ton of sour cream, half and half, cream cheese, whatever cream you have in your.
just take a cow, make everything, and then throw a couple potatoes in.
Yeah. Okay, you guys make it to Zadash, a place that we have never had a map for.
And still don't.
I was going to do it today, but then I had to go and pick up my sister-in-law at the airport.
Priorities. Priorities.
This is what Zadash looks like.
Work.
Copy image address.
Broken image.
Always a broken image. Doop, doop.
I don't know if you can you post images into this? I think you have to do it into Zoom or to Slack. I've never been able to do it in here.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder what's blocking it. Just search for Zadash map, and it is the one that's red and green. Yeah, it's a big triangle. Kind of, if you're looking at it, the Intersted sprawl is the kind of middle class area. That is where Felix's family lives. They live on the eastern side of that. The north part, the Tri-Spire, that is the rich part of town where you can't really get in unless you look nice and or have money. And then the outer steads is just kind of where everything else. The further out that you get from that center of the Intersted sprawl, it gets kind of dingier and dingier. And then on the outsides of the walls, there is like kind of tent city type things where it's, livable, not squalor, but definite. Your very low income, like farmers and things like that. Most people that live inside are your more industrial type people. So, yeah, other interesting things about the Tri-Spire. It's called the Tri-Spire because there's 3 giant spires in it. The one is like a one's like a mage tower that's for the Zauber Spire. There we go. There's the Triumph Chime, which is a religious temple to somebody I can't remember. The Zaubersire, which is is kind of like the magical head of, and the Cerberus is Cymbelis' main point in the entire south of the empire. And then there's the Constellation Bridge, which is actually a casino. Used to be something else, now it's a casino. But yeah, so you guys probably get in there around midday. Ooh, that's a cool picture of Zadash too. yeah, it's about midday, and you guys all get to Zadash. As you first go in, Chonk looks kind of baffled about just the size of this place, and he looks at all of you. You know, he's cold. It's not been it's kind of been a like rain, sleety type of weather over the past couple days. It's kind of been like that miserable type of walk down through here, and so he says, "Hey, all. First things first. I think we should go get cleaned up. Do you know anywhere in here that is, a bathhouse or someplace that I cannot look like a drowned orc mixed with dog shit and moose shit and everything?" And you guys would know one. You went to one a long time ago called Steam's Respite. So
We
that's that.
we had some like we had, I think, was like a pin or something that allowed us to go to
Badge.
the rich
It's a
part
dash
of
badge.
town. There's the dash badge. Do we still have those?
Yeah, it's in the thing.
Do they have an expiration date on them?
No, I don't think they do. Like, you got them for doing a great service to the city. You have the pins that will get you up there. I mean, we've kind of talked. You guys smell like absolute dog shit, so there might be a little bit of persuasion. They might tell you have to go get cleaned up first, but you guys can do it. Like, Steam's Respite is not in there. It is a nice you could just if you wanted to go to a bathhouse, there are nicer ones up there, but that's up to you if you want to try to get up there.
The Pillow Trove, is that a nice place or is that a harem?
That is that is the nicest hotel in the city.
Yeah, let's send them up there. Let's just walk right in there.
Okay.
We gotta make sure that like they know that Tonk is with us.
Yeah, you guys all put your badges on, and
I want to like spill out some of my like river water that I'm sure is in my water skin, and just kind of like
You like wring out your beard.
I'm gonna like clean behind my ears and stuff. I'm just gonna smear the dirt around my face. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to say I don't know if you guys could get in up here originally. Like, it wasn't until you did that you could get up into the Tri-Spires. Yeah, so you guys all head there. What are you leading your animals through town, or are you boarding them? Yep. So you guys get in, you board all of your animals. Oh yeah, you also don't have Chunk. You also have Swinton and Tiburon with you. So
it's gonna be fun.
How big is Swinton?
What?
How big? What's Swinton's size?
About like 5'6", 5'7", 115 pounds.
So we can't put him in the bag of holding.
Well, also we can just Swinton knows the dash, so we could send Swinton to do something. Go,
Yeah, you can send your
clean
hireling
himself
off
up.
To do whatever. They aren't nearly as bad as you guys.
Yeah, just send him off to I'll give him 10 gold to go enjoy the day.
Okay. Yeah, they go and they say, okay, well, I think we'll, or well, no, that's not Swinton's voice. Swinton's voice is more like, oh yes, we will go down to there's an inn that I used to frequent. It's called the Leaky Tap. We'll at least stay there for the day, maybe get cleaned up in our own ways, and then we can meet there this evening to go wherever, and we can all stay together later, or whatever you guys choose. We'll do that. 10 gold will be more than enough to get us through the day. So thank you, and yes, we'll go get cleaned up and catch you later.
And we can ask Chonk if he wants to go with them or stay with us.
He would rather stay with you.
Okay.
He is in a city that is there were about 2,000 people that lived in Barovka. There are about 105,000 people that live here. He is baffled about what's going on right now. So he's like, I'll stick with we're not baffled because he was in a big city 40 years ago, but he's like, I'll stick with you, especially because he's he looks more rugged and like orc-like than Christopher even does, so there might be a few sideways glances. Yeah, so you guys go and try to get into Bathhouse, or try to get into the Tri-Spire to go to Chastity's Nook. Not Chastity's Nook, the Pillow Trove.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you guys come up to the gates, and you guys are just like holding out your badges, and a guard kind of like stops, like, what's your business? I see you have your badge.
We're just looking for a
just-
place to lay our heads for the night, get ourselves cleaned up, you know.
I don't recognize you. How'd you get those badges?
We did some
That's,
work a while back.
Hmm. And he looks at Chonk, who doesn't have a badge, and goes, Who'd you do this work for?
Wish I had better notes.
Notes.
Each thing that you guys remember about our campaign lowers the DC of this roll.
That's my fucking notebook.
We saved a Sildor Smith from a cave. That's a bullet point I have. I have no context. It just says Sildor Smith, guard from Zadash, saved in cave. That was my note.
Oh, okay, you do. That is something that I say. Sildor. I guess. Yeah. I mean, he works down at the Yeah, that was, a few months ago. He did come back looking up in pretty rough shape and mentioned something about what was it? Some 5 guys showed up and saved him. I guess there are 5 of you. This is
Yeah.
kind of lining up.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that name though.
I just assumed that he was talking about just 5 strangers helping him.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well, with this, I will let you.
Hang on. Let me see if I have anything else. Let me see.
City Creek, where's City Creek? Right, we got how about no, that's all. Zorko, do you know Zorko?
Abs Zorko. What kind of
No.
weird ass name is that?
How about Turf?
Definitely don't know Zorko. Zorko is a criminal boss from a different country.
Yeah, we hate him too. Yeah, we really like messed with him.
Okay, I would say you can probably, since TJ was the person that remembered something, he can roll a deception or persuasion check with advantage because of the help that because you have the badges. 16 is enough. It was originally 15, dropped down to 12 because you remembered a name of someone. It was the Lawmaster Orentha Stonegrass was the name you needed to drop.
I have a lot of notes, and they make no sense.
Well, yeah, the way I take notes, like during our games, is it's like just like stream of consciousness, what's happening at the time. So trying to find anything specific in them is nigh impossible. But it's good for like in between each session, I remember what happened in the previous one because of it. But
I've never gotten consistent, so mine will just stop randomly and then pick up like 2 towns later, and I'm like, oh, okay, good job.
Am I looking at something? Is this 2022 that we're looking at too?
it has to be 2022 at least.
Because I saw stuff. I'm like, okay, it can't be like July 2022. I can't get anything after that. Like it's got to be after that, but I think it's before that. Yeah.
Yeah, these notes are from when we first got here,
Okay.
and it just I have bullet points: fix boat, find Swinton flags, fix ring.
Hey, you have done all three of those things.
I
We
just
have.
I just have a note here that says Phil, like the name.
Oh, I have no clue who Phil was.
Me either.
John Bigman. Yeah.
I'd like to imagine that we like
Who is
pulled
John
out these
Bigman?
that we pulled out these
Blasting powder
notebooks
notebook
and we're
marker.
rifling through these notebooks of notes while we're talking to him. Like, what was that guy's name?
And logically, you would remember most of these people's names because it has been 5 months, but like you would know who the head of the police is that you worked with in Zadash. But it's more fun to think that you forgot.
Is that Bram Bronswaddle,
I have no clue who that is.
captain of the guard? I don't know which one.
That
After that,
was the captain of the guard in Hupperduke.
Oh yeah, okay.
He is the
That
guy
before or after?
of all the people in the Empire, he is the one you want to see the least. He is the one that would turn you in for running away. Because he's probably the one that recognizes you and cares. So yeah,
So
you guys
most of my notes got tossed while I was cleaning my office. So I only have two things still, and it is I have tinnitus and Sasha wants to bang me.
Sasha, not Pasha.
Sasha, not Pasha. Sasha trade.
Although we don't know that Pasha doesn't.
Yes. You left. That was a hanging thread. I was just leaving her out there for you.
It says
Okay,
the Tri-Spire, right? Tri-Spire
Yeah,
is
you guys
nice.
in the Tri-Spire, if you're looking at the map where you would be headed, is number 5. So, and you immediately know it's like this place is very nice. You are getting sideways glances and people walking on the other side of the road from you.
We're just gonna walk right up there. We're not dawdling. We'll
Yeah.
straight up there to the bath.
Yeah. So the Pillow Trope is a incredibly nice hotel. It does, however, have its own bathhouse in it. So where a lot of like if you were going down to like where they're going to Leaky Tap, they'll have a communal wash basin that they replace the water in every few hours. But this is it has like a full like it's underground. They have like some sort of external water stream coming in. And yeah, you guys go there, and as you walk up to the door, you see this young human woman kind of standing there, just oh yes, how can I help you, sirs? Are you planning to stay with us tonight for a while?
I hand her a card.
Okay, the Four Daddies. Are you a performing troupe?
You could say that.
Oh, okay. Well, are you looking for employment here? I would not be the person to talk to, but I know that our current entertainment schedule is pretty full, but perhaps if you want to talk to the lady of the building, we can make arrangements. Or sorry if I'm overstepping. Are you just looking for a room tonight? We have plenty available at different prices. We might ask that you, if you are to stay, to please avail yourself first of our amenities in the basement to clean yourselves up. There is a relatively strict dress code for our public spaces here.
We'll start with that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is only available to people that will be staying in the hotel. It is not. There is a public bathhouse that you can go access elsewhere, but this is for.
No, we're gonna stay.
Okay. So, just so you know, the cost of she goes down kind of costs. The Pillow Trove is 10 gold to 20 gold per night, depending on per room. So the 10 gold room, you could probably sleep all 4 of you, not incredibly comfortably. But for all of you, like with your hirelings and Chonk, you would need 2 rooms at 10 gold, or no, you would need to buy 2 rooms regardless. So you could get a 20 gold room that would be nicer. It's more of a suite, or the 10 gold room is just kind of a nice room.
What's the nicest room you have?
The nicest room, here,
Just give us the honeymoon suite.
There actually is a price for this. Let me look it up real quick. Filter. That would be the diplomatic invitational suite. I could check if it's available. Normally we have it reserved for, as it says, diplomatic invitationals, but I'm sure the lady wouldn't mind, but that is going to run you 50 gold pieces per night.
Yep, I'm just gonna pay for it in platinum for a night.
She sits here and says, whew. And then the fact that it is just like all in platinum coming out of this, just a dude with a nice
wow.
Reaches into his beard.
Like a handful of platinum that I have to like put some
here's
back.
my beard money. You don't want to see what's in my pockets. Yeah, she sets it down. She's like, well, let me check with the lady of the house. She goes, with you slamming down that money, make a persuasion check. Oh, oops, actually.
Nope.
Okay, 1 second. Everything froze.
It's a 7.
Okay. Yeah, with a 7.
If I you know, make him smell a little better, will that help his persuasion?
Make an Arcana check to see how much better you make him smell. He smells much better.
I just made this like fantasy garlic potatoes that we're probably still just like shoving down our faces. Yeah, just like this.
Yeah, go ahead and roll one more time.
Can I give him the help action?
He just got the help action essentially from
Okay.
That's basically what I
okay.
did.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Sounds good.
Yeah.
7 with advantage. Yeah.
He smells a lot better, but the rest of you still smell like shit. So she goes back and she goes, let me just talk to the lady, make sure that the room's available, that there's no thoughts of diplomatic people coming. She scurries off. She comes back and says, okay, yes, I can offer you the diplomatic suite, but there will be a 2-night minimum on it.
Cleaning fee.
What? No, it's just you guys can have it,
fee.
but you have to stay for more than 1 night
That's good.
at that rate. So
All right.
So
We'll just take out a few more like flea-ridden platinum pieces.
just put down 10 more platinum. Oh, and just keep track for however many days you are here. All of your animals in your cart is going to cost about a gold piece a day. So
Or steer for at least 2 nights.
you're the dash for at least.
Well, we're here for a while, but you know.
Yeah. Boarding your animals is gonna start.
Let's just say we board them for 14 days for now. Just paid for.
Did we keep the moose or do we? I can't
The
remember
moose
where
still
that-
exists, and we'll actually bump that up if you guys want to continue having the moose be a rideable thing. It is now 2 gold a day.
Yeah, I'll take the moose. I'm
Okay. I'm gonna pay for that. That's 1 gold per animal?
No, total. So 28 gold.
Okay,
28
I'll
gold
pay for that.
For the first 14 days. Oh, speaking of which, you guys are down to what we said. It took you 15 days to get here. 15 days. How many days did I even say? Yeah, 15. So you're down to 23 days until the event, which might actually put you guys in the month of just about the month of Duskar. It is definitely wintertime now. It is you are a bit, further down, so probably closer to, northern Wyoming than northern Montana. So it's a lot more sleet and rain versus snow and stuff like that. So it's cold. You're probably sitting at your mid 40s with the sun out, and if it's raining, that just miserable and like 38 degrees.
I have my earmuffs.
You have your earmuffs. Okay, yeah. So mark off 100 gold for the next 2 days. You then
I get that. Yeah, that's
yeah.
good.
Are we staying here for the full time? Are we just gonna pay all that?
I
I think we're gonna stay here for 2 nights, and then we'll figure out what to do after that.
because what if you stayed here for another 15 days at 50 gold? Like that's a
We're
fair
just-
amount.
We're
That's
just
like
getting
600 gold.
I have like 5,000 gold.
Yes. I know you guys are super duper rich. But you are also getting to the point of where buying anything will cost you 5,000 gold.
Yeah.
We're
Like,
just
it
showing
doesn't-
off for Chonk a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Chonk is going like, he's looking like a little like off put, but at the same time excited. And you're led by the not the
Chonk,
contest,
Chonk is the high schooler who doesn't have a lot, but is hanging out with his rich friend.
Oh, yep, exactly. The first time that I went to sushi with my girlfriend Lindsay Kavanaugh, and I'm like, that was the most expensive meal I think anyone has ever had in their life. So yeah, we go to. You're kind of shown down by a little porter that kind of grabs your items, or whatever you want to leave with them. Actually, they show you down to the basement, and you're given kind of a list of services. Kind of, if you want the full works, that includes, let's see, that includes haircuts, shaves, wash, and repair of all your clothing. You can get bathed. Like you can have private room. You could have just one communal bath for the 5 of you. Kind of like it's a full Swedish bathhouse or Russian bathhouse, however you want to, whatever one of those you want to pick. But they also will repair and wash your clothing, and clean like any gear you want for them. Probably not weapons or things like that, but like basically you can get spiffed up. But for all of you to do that, it'll be roughly about 100 gold for the entire party. So 20 gold per person. Good thing you sent your hirelings off, because otherwise it would have been more.
Yeah, we're all is said and done, like we're still not paying for Swinton to get pampered. We're still gonna send him off to the
Hey, he's
bad.
happy about it. He's feeling just fine.
I'm in. I need to deep clean.
Yeah, I want the full posh experience.
Manny petties. So first things first, you all get kind of your own private bathing units. All your clothes are taken, and they'll get back anything that they can't like fully repair or can't clean well enough. They'll offer to replace it. They'll clean it as best they can, but you can get it replaced if you want new clothes for a fee. But yeah, you get your own private baths. You all clean up. All of you that want a nice clean shave, a manicure, pedicure, you're all cleaned up. You're looking great, feeling great. You can have a massage for an extra 10 gold.
Could I have someone do some shopping for some nice clothes? And
Yeah,
someone to clean up my armor.
For what? Sorry.
I want someone to clean the armor,
Yeah.
the fancy armor. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
And then I wanted some like fancy clothes.
Okay, you can go get some fancy clothes. You can decide what those look at like. I'll say that depending on how fancy, between 5 and 20 gold.
I want the fanciest.
Okay, so 20 gold's worth of clothing.
Yeah, man.
Fine clothing, aristocratic clothing from this little street urchin. Yeah, anyone else can just like kind of keep their same stuff or choose to change their look. This is where you can readjust your sliders midway through the game. But then at the end, kind of like after everything's done, you're all led to just kind of a communal bath where Chonk is already sitting in there. Steam is flowing. It's just a nice like kind of end of your day. Like you jump between that and then the cold bath and then back to the hot bath and the cold bath. Just kind of refresh your entire system now that you're all cleaned up. Yeah, and while you're there, or does anyone else want to do anything before you guys all reconvene in this bath? Anyone else want?
Sending off for at least the at most 10 pieces of rope.
They are not
hoard
going to
rope.
go buy you rope right now, but they will. They do tell you where you can buy the finest silk rope,
Right.
which is not the normal rope. That is normally you have hemp rope, but they tell you like they can direct you to a place to buy that later.
Right.
And we'll get to that in after this into the downtime activities over the next 15 days. So Chonk is sitting there and just kind of looks. He's like, it seems the life of an adventurer can be kind of nice at times, I guess. You guys just spend more money than I think I ever owned in my life.
It's lucrative, my dude.
Yeah, like I gotta ask though, is like, is this why you do it? Why do you, what do each one of you, why do you guys do it? Like, is it for like these experiences or this, or are you just nice guys? Like, put your fucking necks out for a community that you barely even knew. I mean, you just seem, is it just for the money? Is it just for the fame? Is it, why do you do it? Like, back when you can't even really call it adventuring days, when I was doing it for God, or a God, Bahamut, and that, and then, eventually didn't always feel reciprocated, so kind of got kicked out of the church. And that's why I've been on the run not run, but had to kind of go find myself. But it seems, for me, I'm kind of reinvigorated watching you guys just do good. And I remember those days when that's kind of what I was trying to do. So yeah, what do you guys do? Why? Just curious.
And I just give him our card.
Okay,
completely oblivious for any, like, I think it's obvious that it's like very righteous and yeah, it's a very like obvious
so you do it just because it makes you feel good and don't really know how to do anything else. Okay, and that's a good enough reason. What about you? What about you, quiet guy?
Well, definitely not for the conversation.
Oh, obviously, I think that's the most words you've ever said to me.
I think I don't know that I'm doing it for the good. Good and evil is just a construct anyway.
Yes, I was also raised in a church. I get you, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how else to spend my time learning as much as I can and having it be socially acceptable to murder a few people.
Okay, that makes sense. And you definitely don't seem like the type of wizard that could just be sit in a spire all day, because you got a little bit of that bloodlust in you. got to be out there and testing whatever new knowledge you get.
That seems more fair. I don't know that I'd call it bloodlust,
Okay, good.
but more experimentation.
That's the most terrifying thing I've ever heard. Okay, on going around the circle. What about you, pretty boy?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I've done a lot of things in my past that I'm not proud of, and I'm just trying to make amends.
Was that straight from like your flaw or your ideals?
No, that was
Okay, I
straight
thought
from the dome.
Okay, it just sounded like I know one of the ideals is kind of like that, but hey, that's good. Making amends. That's kind of where I'm at right now. And you, big man.
Who is and you? Me and you? Him and you? Yeah, my lot in life is to lay down my life in defense of others. You know, I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves.
Yeah. Well, good. Good, man.
That is straight from
all-
the ideals.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's straight from the ideals. Like, hey, that's what they're there for. Well, good. So it doesn't seem like whenever you guys are finishing up here, you're not done after this. It's back out after a little bit of rest, or are you guys calling it quits soon? And it definitely seems like at least two of you definitely aren't calling it or three of you, all of you probably. Doesn't sound like you're anyways ready to stop doing the good around the world.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, it's almost like, these past couple months, it feels like 3 or 4 years here, but it's only been a couple months.
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. Oh, good on you. I'm glad there's people like you out there doing this type of work. So whatever you guys are going to do, you're always welcome to join me in what I decided my new quest is, find whatever that fucking spear was so it doesn't corrupt any other of people and cause wars and all that. Was planning on going to the Platinum House or the Cobalt Soul. I think they have a library here. Those IU people always seem to have a lot of information, so I was going to just kind of do a little bit of research. You're welcome to join. Otherwise, I'll stay with you for a couple days, but I'll probably be here for another week or two. And then you told me that where you saw that fall was out to the west, over in the hills up over in the. I think you said it was Camerida. I don't remember Camorta. There, I think I'll be heading out there in 2 weeks or so. So, you got your own business, but if you ever want to come and help on my own adventure, love to have you. So, thanks for your hospitality, getting me on the right track and paying for this very nice bath. I feel like a new man. And you see like years of dirt has just fallen off of this guy. He's like just this very like not bulky, just very like slender and but sinewy. There's the word I was looking for. Like an old man that has kept it very tight.
I've seen these guys at the gym.
Yep. those guys that you're like, man, I bet he could beat me up. So, and that you guys can just, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, just kind of enjoy the rest of your bath and then go up to your very lavish room, order room service. Yeah, the food
You'll
is
not have to cook, Christopher. Have someone cook for you.
Sometimes you just have to learn and observe.
Watch them cook your meal.
He orders when you guys are having the dinner, they have like that option of like table side. They're making the carbonara in the giant cheese wheel next to the table. I don't know if any other restaurant does that except for Antica Sicilia or that.
Tableside Caesar. Tableside
yeah.
Fettuccine.
It's just unneeded. But,
Everything's tableside.
Everything. It's just he just has his own table that he sits at because every other corner of the table has a little cart next to it cooking in front of him. And then only after that he realizes there was a hibachi grill next to it. Not just joking. But yeah, you guys can go to bed for the night. Well fed, well, taken care of. You all look like $1,000,000. All of your clothing. You come back out and like are in your new clothes or your new and or repaired clothing, and the front desk lady looks at you all and goes like, "Well, damn."
Yeah,
You
the
guys-
Four Daddies clean up nice.
I'm sure your kids are proud of you. Anyways,
Yeah. You know something I don't?
I just assumed. I'm sorry. Sorry for assuming. Here's your keys. Hands you the keys to your room, and all of your stuff is taken up by a porter. Which he's just struggling because the amount of shit that you guys have in your packs is like a solid 250 pounds worth of gear that you're making this poor dude lug up 4 flights of stairs.
Got 208 pounds for just me.
Yeah. And I assume that Thel isn't in his 80-pound armor.
Yeah, probably.
Or just no, or unless you want to put your armor back on after a really nice bath and just start sweating ass again.
Yeah, no. Hard pass.
Yeah, you guys all go up and yeah, you are essentially now into a thing of downtime. You have, what do we say? You have at this point 22 days before you're supposed to you'll be reached out to where to meet for the conclusion of the competition with Saxon. You don't know when that will come, but you assume that if he's as good of a crime boss as he's supposed to be, the gentleman will know that you guys are in town and how to contact you. So over the next 23 days, what do you guys want to do? There's any amount of downtime activities that you can look up if there's, but just as a general guide, or you can really do whatever, buy rope, buy any other yeah, if you just search downtime, you should be able to see downtime revisited, and that will have.
Is there in a town like this, there's got to be like a gym with like personal training?
Yeah.
Because I would like some personal instruction on jumping.
Okay. I don't exactly know how mechanically that will happen.
It won't.
You can.
I was more saying it for the laughs.
Because you can train, but I don't I think it takes a lot of time to like get yourself proficiency in athletics or acrobatics. But that would be not 20
days.
20 days. Okay. While you think, I'm gonna take a short break, get something to eat real quick.
Okay. One of us really needs to try and craft a magic item because the first crafting complication of crafting a magic item is rumor swirl that what you're working on is unstable and a threat to the community.
That sounds like fun. How does crafting a magic item even work?
Crafting a magic item, or yeah, it's under downtime activities. If you just search it in the compendium.
The original player's handbook or Xanthers?
I did Xanthers guide. The Xanthers guide one is funny, at least. There's a lot of outcomes.
Hmm. That sounds like something I would do. Oh man. um, of the complications, 5 out of 6 of them might involve a trial. Oh, involve a rival. I read that wrong. I was like gonna get fucking arrested for 5 out of 6 of these things.
Okie doke. You guys have any idea? We can start with whatever anyone wants to do.
Thel and I were chatting, and we think it might be fun to work on our ability to craft magic items.
Mm-hmm.
We're not super sure what that entails. It looks like it's usually involves collection of ingredients more than anything, but
Yep. Yeah, and you actually have a hireling that has some ability to do that. Okay, so like what are you like you want to work on your ability to do that?
yeah, so I'm not sure what that looks like. If I need to be good at like if I'm gonna make magical jewelry, do I need to be good at jewelry, or do I just like find the appropriate items and combine them? Like I can't quite figure out how that works. But it
Yeah,
does seem like
you would
something
have
I
to
would do.
you could just buy the jewelry as kind of like the holding mechanism
Yeah.
or for whatever, and then based off of what enchantment you want, it might be like, hey, let's figure out what we need to collect, whether we can buy it here or if we have to go out
Yeah.
and adventure for it.
So if that just means that I'm like researching, then maybe that's what I'm doing. But I think that's what I had in mind.
Okay, so kind of researching into
Something simple, since like I haven't done it before, other than like repairing other magical items.
yeah, things
So-
that already. So, yeah, with this kind of this researching, we'll say like after the first or second day, or I guess just to cover that, where are you guys staying for the rest of this time? You can stay here, where your hirelings are staying, and probably where they will stay, until you say otherwise, is at the Leaky Tap, which is 1 gold a day, as opposed to 10. Like that, we don't make that much money. In fact, 1 gold a day is how much you guys pay them. So
Yeah, we could go stay in the same place, I think.
yeah, and this it's makes more sense. Like it's actually relatively close to where your parents live, Felix. So if you guys all just want to stay there, you probably have to get 3 rooms. So now it's 3 gold a day for the next 23 days. Whatever that is.
69.
Yeah.
Is that
Nice.
each or total?
Total. Nice.
While they're crafting items or whatever, I would like to pay a visit to my parents.
Okay. So we'll do kind of the roles for your craft, or like figuring out what items, like when you're talking, like sitting down there over the next little bit is kind of Tiburon tells you like, okay, like a lot of it doesn't matter on the materials, less, like he shows like who has the contingency band.
The contingency what?
The contingency band, the thing that they made for you that brings you back up, or uses a potion.
I have no idea.
Who ended up taking it?
Oh, I have
thought
it.
it-
I
yeah,
have
I
it.
thought it
I
was.
do have it. I put it in my items list.
Yeah. He points out, he's like, yeah, so for like that, it was relatively simple. It was, the leather had to be of a certain quality. That one's made out of some of the weird snakes that are found out in the woods there, and then that infused with a little bit of magic that kind of hollowed it out, and that we were able to enchant it to essentially soak in a liquid, really any liquid, and then have it infuse it into you at the time of unconsciousness. So, it was mainly finding the leather and then applying, some of my magical ability on it. So, depending on what you would want to make, we would just need to find the requisite items and figure out how to make it more static and permanent versus a single use. I will tell you, it does take time and often a lot of money, or at least energy. So there is that. Is there
Sounds fine.
anything in particular that you are thinking of making?
I was planning on starting simple stuff. Maybe just a I have no idea.
Okay, we'll let you think, and then it would from there it'd be me figuring out what you would need to buy and how long. That
Okay.
is probably the most complicated one. Okay, Felix, you said you want to go visit your parents first. So you walk to their house in the kind of very southeastern corner of the Interstead, and yeah, how do you just go in and knock? There's the the bread basket with the local bar? Do you wait for them to show up, or does your dad is known to like go there maybe every Thursday, goes and gets a drink with a buddy, or that after his very boring finance work?
Nah, he's gonna knock on the door of their house.
Yes. I guess what day would this be, on a weekend or during the week?
Just during the week.
During the week, during like middle of the day. Would your both parents be home, you think?
No, but mom would be home. Sheila.
Sheila and what's your dad's name again? William?
Yeah.
William and Sheila. William is just the most, I don't know why it just sounds like the most plain fantasy name. As a
I
guy
don't
that
know.
comes up with a lot of bad fantasy names. She you hear, and like as you knock on the door, kind of like some movement happens, and then the door opens a crack and says, "Hello, oh, Felix, it's been a bit of time. What's going on? Are you back in town? Hopefully for a bit. Come in.
I'd follow her in.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Perception.
No, it looks like you're in your old family house. The only thing, like, it seems a little bit more just like less unkempt than normally was. I would say like maybe you got kind of your sense of like looking nice and being, put together, and that from your parents, and this just, the house just looks a tiny bit sloppier, but people are busy all the time. Nothing that really like catches your eye though. And she says, "Yeah, come. I just was about to put on a kettle and make some coffee if you would like some." Yeah, noon coffee.
Yeah, 3:00 coffee.
3 o'clock coffee. Perfect. He's like, I'm sorry your father isn't here, but if you wait around long enough, I'm sure he will. How have you been? You look very well put together. She's like looking at your new fine threads and all that, and it's like, seems that life's been treating you pretty well then.
It's been hard. But
Hopefully not anything too under the table or
can I? Does Christopher want to come, because he had a good relationship with my mom learning to cook?
Yeah,
I'm
I'll come.
asking Chris if he wants to come.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm already there.
Yeah.
You shut up, I'm already.
You didn't think he was coming, but then he's just like behind you.
No, he's just in the kitchen when he gets there.
Yeah, he's been there when I knocked on the door.
Yeah, he's there with you. He's like, "Oh, it looks, it's nice. So thank you. I assume you've been helping protect my dear boy here. Big guy." And as you are just like, you come in, you just like start like cleaning the dishes to like cook something, because it's like you're, I haven't seen my mother in a few months, and but there's a third stranger here. But yeah, tell me are you here long?
For a bit. We have some business in town, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Oh, awesome! Wonderful. You always have a room here if you need it. I know you've always been kind of a more independent soul, but seems you've met some good friends. And, it's been a while since I've seen you come by with the same group of people. So, but it's good to see you. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything like specific you want to talk to her about, or?
Not her. I like just want to make when his dad gets home, I like to just let them know that things are gonna be okay, and that I'm taking care of their problems.
That you are taking care of their problems.
Yeah.
How much do you think your mom knows about like your dad's having to do the books for a crime organization.
I don't think she's any the wiser.
Yeah. So that's why you wait for your dad and like go have a beer with your dad and you kind of give him that. You have a beer with your dad while Sheila and Christopher are just baking. Just do you have any more magic mushrooms you want to bake into tarts? Because that was the whole original reason they became friends.
I think we have. Hang on.
I have an orange cap mushroom, but I think that's just a regular.
I think that's just a regular ass mushroom.
Yeah.
Well, you guys just Sheila puts you to work like helping like prep, the bread for the next couple days. You guys make a couple loaves of bread and get them in the oven.
We have a Fey touched mushroom. And we have brown spotted eggs.
The brown spotted eggs, you do know if you eaten, you have a constitution check, and if you do not pass, you take a lot of damage.
Right. I can't remember exactly what happened with that, but
Christopher ate one and took like 40 damage.
I mean, you could try to make those into something a little,
easier to eat. And you do not know what happens if you succeed the check. So
I'm just saying what we have.
Yeah. The Fey Touch mushroom would be one more of those mushrooms that is a wild magic surge.
Oh hell yeah.
But I would say if you have one that it doesn't say what it is, you do not know what it does.
Correct.
So
that's what happened last time. But didn't we? I don't remember how we figured out what they did last time. It had some kind of check, but I don't remember.
Carrick made an Arcana check on it.
Okay.
So
we can always try
I would
that
say
again.
you will not be able to make an Arcana check if it is baked.
Okay.
So, but it's more fun if it's just a baked good that could do one of 100 things.
Yeah.
So
that'd be fun.
You want to do that? They make one more like one more for old time's sake. Fey biscuit.
Cheddar Fey biscuit.
Cheddar Fey biscuit. That's a good one. That's quality.
Yep, I'm adding that to my.
Yeah, you have a Cheddar Fey biscuit, and you make like 2 other loaves of bread. Do you want to role play a scene with your dad, or do you just want to kind of leave it at that? Like you tell him that things are going to be okay.
We can just leave it at that.
Okay. He responds, just kind of the same. He's like, "Oh, that's good to hear. I mean, things have been a little bit harder recently. Getting pressure from people I didn't used to have to work for. I guess, I was doing good work for one group, and they heard I do good work, so now I'm doing good work for other groups. So, stretched a little thin. So if you're gonna be okay, I trust you. You look like you're doing well. So sounds good." You guys have that private conversation while the others are cooking, and then you guys just all have like some loaves of bread to say your goodbyes, and your parents are feeling, or your dad actually definitely make a persuasion check whether you're actually talking with your dad. We'll do it with advantage. Because you have your fancy clothes, you're looking like you could take care of stuff.
Man, I cannot roll.
You just cannot roll. An 11, I would say it's not super high DC. He's not like totally put at ease, but he nods and is taking your word for it.
I'm gonna also give him 50 gold just to kind of put his mind at ease.
Yeah, and so he says, "Thanks. This will help. Can always do a little bit of repair. Maybe we'll I'll take your mom out to somewhere nice and you're welcome to come, but
maybe pay to have someone clean up the house a little bit."
No, yeah, of course. So he does that, and he feels, and you guys then after that, have a nice, kind of late afternoon bread and baked goods, some tea or coffee and that. And then you guys head out. And that's one day. Now got to Fel, what did you want to do during this time?
Yeah, initially I was thinking I just wanted to see if I could get my Bahamut crest re-jeweled up with a new parafet of Wound Closure, but I'm thinking maybe I'll just check and see what's available on the armor and weapons front.
Yeah, of course you can do that. You do remember the store that you would probably be looking at there would be the Invulnerable Vagrant. It's the like kind of magic / enchantment shop. It's in the Pentamarket, not too far from where you are. It's run by the 3 or 4 identical Kumat souls, which is kind of interesting because by identical I mean they are truly the same person. They aren't clones, but they are as close to a clone as you can get. Yeah, going in, you like the doorbell rings. You get helloed by these like same 3 guys. Some are loading up chests. There you hear something working in the background, and says, "Oh, welcome. What can I help you with today?" Please be aware that with the war effort, where our stock is a little bit lower, but I'm sure our enchanting services are still totally available to any that would like to use it. But stock might be a little bit lower. Not to say that we aren't brimming with goods. We did have 5 years of peace that allowed us to create quite the backlog. But how can we help?
Yeah, just curious what your stock of armors looks like. I have a pretty heavy plate armor, but always looking for upgrades.
Yes. Looking at you. Are you in your full equipment or are you?
I mean, I definitely have it with me, but I don't know if I'm wearing it.
Okay. Like I would say you probably don't have like your full suit of armor. You just like may have like the pauldron or some amount so they can show and they can look at it. Like, well, yes, like looking at this armor, seems you have quite a nice set. And like sadly for us to probably we'd have to take this armor for let me check with the guy in the back and he checks and like it would probably be at least 2 months worth of enchantment time to improve this upon itself, and would be quite expensive, but we do have some other options. We do have a cloak over here, and there's a cloak of protection that's on there. Like this is a lot. Some people don't want it because it's old. It's kind of tattered. This has seen some use out in the field, and so there's that. We also have, while not specifically armor, it is a helmet. It's we call it the barge helm. That I forget what it does because this is a list from 100 years ago. Give me 1 second. I can get you a roll just for like kind of what's available. Roll some sort. What kind of check would be for what's available?
Probably like a persuasion or charisma, maybe?
Yeah, I would say roll persuasion to like kind of get like what they might want to give up.
Yeah, because there's what they have, and then there's what they're willing to part with.
Yeah. Let's see, barge helm. Open that up. Yeah. Oh, 20. Okay, with a 20, I'll say that will probably get you 2 other items that they would be willing to give up. The barge helm, just if you were, and anyone can like Fel can do this shopping and anyone can come back later. The barge helm looks really dumb. It's a flat top helmet. But if you move at least 10 feet in a straight line towards your target on your turn, you can, as an action, attempt to barrel into it and knock it down. Make a melee attack with the helmet you are proficient with. On a hit, you deal 1d8 damage to the target. Is a creature no more than 1 star? If it's not larger than you, then it gets knocked back 5 feet and prone. If it's a structure, the damage dealt is doubled. So it's kind of like Juggernaut's helmet. But
He still had his gloves. He could have just like started a wrecking service.
yeah. Let's see real quick. Let me get to the right armor, page 78. I got this new book, Ultimate Treasury, 1001 magical items. I ordered this book a year and a half ago. Okay, so let me just do a quick look. Sorry, just give me a second. There we are. So let's see. There is this back here armor wise. See, he picks up this a little pin, and it's a silver stick pin is crafted in the shape of a curved kite shield and can be attached to any normal or magical cloak. Hat, headband, anything you really want to. Does not take up an item slot, that doesn't matter. But it functions similarly as a brooch of shielding, but it grants immunity to force damage. So a brooch of shielding. Yeah, so it's essentially it's a brooch of shielding, so you're immune to force damage. So it's a type of damage that you can't take anymore. And the other item we'll say is nope. Nope.
I ended up
Yeah.
buying my crossbow. I bought a light crossbow. Was there a reason why I did the light one over one of the other kinds? I can't
The
remember.
light one, we said that you could shoot twice. The heavy one, you'd only ever be able to shoot once in a turn.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the other one, he says, well, this isn't quite, in the line of defenses. He pulls out this like leather, it's a braided rope cord with some like bands of gold through the middle of it. That means like, so it fastens tightly around your waist and helps focus connection between your body and mind to overcome fatigue. You can meditate for 1 minute to grant yourself a number of temporary hit points equal to your level. You cannot meditate this way until you complete a long rest. In addition, as a bonus action or as a reaction, you can choose to take 1d10 psychic damage to channel your inner focus to gain advantage on a strength check or saving throw to avoid gaining a level of exhaustion. Each time you use the cord of stubborn resolve in this way, you take damage taken increases by 1d10 until you finish a long rest. So biggest thing about it is you would be able to focus on it for a minute and get 10 temporary hit points. So those are the two kind of defensive items that he has. Other things he has is a pipe of smoke monsters that allows you to blow out little animated monsters. A forecaster's cloak that when you open it, it has the inside of it shows what the weather is going to be like for the day. He has bracers of defense, which you technically cannot use because you are wearing armor. The cloak of protection, like we said, which is just a +1 cloak of protection. Then he has a number of spell scrolls, and you'll say, I know that we don't have a lot, but I do have plenty of spell scrolls. They're relatively easy to create, and I feel bad that I can't provide you everything that you want, so I'll give you access to maybe 1 or 2 of our higher level spells that normally they don't allow us to use, to sell, unless you're, I recognize you guys spent money here a long time ago, so I'll give you a little bit, and I'll say if you buy any of these items, we can fix that parapet on your chest free of charge. I would say that both of those 2 items that you got they require attunement. So
yeah, that's what I was noticing. So I was trying to decide.
So you can think on that. Yeah. So with that, he can offer you there's 1 level 5 spell that we roll for, and 2 level 4 spells are the higher level spells he can sell. So that's most interesting for Carrick if he wants to spend money to get more spells, but other than that. Sure. You want to think about that? What do you do, Christopher?
I think I wandered in here too. I'm just like
You're
in
just
all the
a
places.
tag along.
I'm just
Did you buy all your rope?
I bought what's the difference between silk rope and hempen rope?
I honestly don't know if there is a difference.
Just lighter, I guess.
Yeah.
Softer to the touch.
Sure.
Silk versus hempen
Feels
rope.
nice on your hands.
Yep.
That's
No
good.
rope burn.
By rule, nothing. It's just lighter.
Okay. I got 5 silk ropes.
You buy 5 silk ropes. So a silk rope is cost. What is it? How much does a silk rope cost? You're gonna nickel and dime you until you have no money. Silk rope costs 10 gold pieces.
Yep, I got 5. Yeah.
Okay.
I do
hemp
have.
and rope costs 1 gold piece, so it is 10 times more expensive. You find your finest that. So you come in. Is there anything you're looking at, or?
Is there anything to add attenuation slots, or is that like two?
No,
That's like,
there is a feat for it, I think, or it's an artificer skill.
okay. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, that is the unfortunate thing about attunement.
That makes sense. Whatever. That's like yeah, I was expecting that. My next is I want to look into two-hand wielding weapons that don't if I'm not doing fire damage. So I'm looking for weapons, dual wielding weapons that don't do fire. That's also my next in line that I'm looking for.
Okay. Do the same. Make a persuasion check. He says, in the nicest way possible. I would say, is anyone going to buy anything from this place? Because then, if that's the case, I might give him advantage depending on what you're going to do.
I was thinking about the third thing. I was thinking about those smoke creatures. If I can attach that to my bagpipe and make a smoke creature, pipes of haunting with little ghost creatures that run around. How much is maybe I'll switch to that. How much for the ghost, the smoke creature?
For him to enchant it into your pipes of haunting and make them work together, I will say that is going to be 300 gold for something that's purely aesthetics based. But doing that, I will let you re-roll your persuasion check.
All right, yeah, I'll buy 300 gold second roll.
That one.
Persuasion, let's go. Let's not do worse again. All right.
Okay, with a 15, with a 15, I would probably say that all that he's really got are like just general +1 longswords, or +1 mauls, plus a general +1 weapon. Which
Nothing
would be
magic.
well, it's magical in the fact that it adds +1 to attack and damage rolls, but it's not going. I don't think you're going to get extra effects with 15's good enough.
Where's the nearest place that would have cool shit like that?
Rexentrum,
Rexentrum.
which is the largest city in the country.
Is
that's
that
where that's where the lady's at. That's like the Ninra that was looking into the drow stuff. So but yeah, that would probably be where you would be able to find more things.
okay, I'll hold off.
Other than that, it's just a giant crapshoot of like doing a ton of research and trying to buy it off of a collector's hand. So
Yeah, no.
It all depends on how much legwork you want to put into it.
Not much.
Not much. Okay, but you do have your fancy type of haunted smoke monsters.
Oh yeah.
This
then I have a magic shield and magic arrows. Are those just straight up magic, or did we want to investigate those?
They're just +1 shield and +1 arrows.
Cool. Okay.
We can call them +1 bolts, since none of you guys have bows.
I mean, yeah, I'll give them to somebody else.
Yeah.
Somebody.
And the shield, none of you guys use. I don't think any of you guys can use shields. Or you can, it's just you also have two-handed weapons. But okie doke.
One's the arrows.
Anything else you wanted to do as downtime activities, Christopher?
I'm just gonna go back and bake with Felix's mom.
You just go and visit Felix's mom every day.
It's not weird, don't worry.
Just come back with some good baked goods, like it's all good. You're just working on, since you haven't been able to really bake while out on the road, this is a different type of cooking you can do since you're in a house. Okay, Felix, is there anything else you want to do?
I don't think so. I think I'm just waiting to hear when
You're
this,
just you're waiting on pins and needles.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Well-
do have one random longsword I want to unload on those guys. How much would they pay for one longsword?
One longsword would probably give you, if you went to, they wouldn't take anything, but they point you to the hammer and tongs, some place that makes weapons, and they'll offer you what, like 3 gold for it.
Okay.
You don't want to just stab it into a door.
No.
That's how Christopher gets rid of all of his.
Or I
And
just
then-
get them off on people we don't
I'm
like.
trying to
and
remember
name them.
functionality wise. I've got the ring of minor invisibility. What was the minor functionality of that? Just that it didn't need attunement?
It doesn't need attunement, and it can just be used once a day.
Okay, once a day, but it essentially functions the same as the ring of invisibility rule
Yes,
wise.
it's just not the ring of invisibility, which is a legendary item that you can just turn invisible always.
Are you, when you're invisible with that, are you quiet or is it just you can't be seen?
You are just can't be seen. You still make sound.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're looking for reasons to unequip your boots,
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want that +1 AC from that cloak more than I want my stealthy boots.
yeah. So
They-
sometimes you can just accept that you're not stealthy.
Yeah, I think I'm for an initial AC, I may be thinking that's the way to go here.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just keep thinking about that. That's kind of done. There is one other thing that happens. There's actually a couple other things that happen, but first is Chonk does come by and ask if anyone wants to join him at the Platinum House to do some research
What's
about
that, please?
literally anything. People are going to go read books.
Platinum House, is that Platinum House is my yes.
Yeah, and you actually are owed favors by this place. So
I do remember that.
yeah, so
Yeah,
anyone
very-
can go with them if they want to help him, because he's just trying to look up information about whatever this spear was and what it might do and all that. So, and he's going to the Platinum House because he feels like I should reinvest myself in the god that I used to worship.
Is there anything at the magic place for healing too? Is there like, I feel like that's our weak point too, is healing.
Probably your best thing would be to be getting healing potions. And with you spending that, he has 2 greater and 4 lesser healing potions available.
Can I start a long road to trying to study medicine?
Yeah, you can start doing that with Swinton. Swinton will happily help you learn that. Make a medicine check now.
I'm on 6. 16. All right.
Hey, nice job. So with the 16, I will say on the progression track of 20, you have made 2.
Nice.
So if you want to put that down for your ability to create, like find the resources and create magical potion or healing potions at a proficient level.
That's where I'm going. Yeah, I'm sick of. I'm not buying shit.
I'm not. I have tons of
making-
money, but I'm not buying anything.
This is basically cooking, and I've screwed it up this many times, but still, I'm not buying shit.
Yeah. Anyone want to go do research with them? Like, there's tons of things that you might have questions about that you could research about. So, up to you.
So there's an item that I've had forever. The Manual of Flesh Golems. I tried to open it, I don't know, probably 2 years ago, and it hurt me. Is this something that I would need to research, or is this just something that I would try to open again now that I'm stronger and just see what happens?
The second.
Okay.
Do you open it?
Sure.
How many 5th level spell slots do you have?
Spell slots?
Yeah.
Two.
You are able to start reading through this book.
Oh, man.
Yes, that is to decipher and use the manual. You must be a spellcaster with at least 2 5th level spell slots.
Oh, just barely. So with this last level up.
Yep. I was wondering when you would open it again, pretty much just now. So you read through this, and it is gross. Like, it's a leather book that's stitched together with, like, what you assume is skin. This is not a book you want to, like, really be seen reading out and about. And you essentially learn that.
So he's doing it in the public square.
Reading this, you put together that, hey, if I spent about 60 days and had about 50,000 gold pieces of supplies, you could make a flesh golem.
50,000 gold of supplies?
Yeah, doesn't have to be all done at once, but just slowly but surely you can chip away at it if you had a place that you could keep it at. Unfortunately, the one place that you know that the tower fell down. You don't know if the lab underneath is still available.
Oh, man. Have we even had a cumulative 50,000 gold in this whole campaign?
I'm sure we have.
I think you've probably been pretty close.
Okay.
I mean,
Because what do you all have right now? You probably have about almost 20 between all 4 of you.
Yeah, I have just under 5 because of all the spells I just
Yeah, if you think about how much money you've spent on spells.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I need to just like figure out if there's still space under the tower for me to kind of experiment, really.
Yeah, that would the hardest thing here would be the 60 days and the place to do it.
Okay.
And you did fight one of these flesh golems. They aren't exactly a pretty thing.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah. The golem becomes animate. The golem becomes animate when the ashes of the manual are sprinkled upon it. So yeah, when you finish creating the golem, the book turns to ash, so you can't use it multiple times, and then it animates based off of the sprinkling of that. It's under your control, and it understands and obeys your spoken commands.
And it's just around until it dies. It's not like a 1-day thing.
No, yes, it is around until it dies.
Okay.
So you could make Frankenstein is essentially what you have. You have a book of Frankenstein.
Well, this sounds fun.
That sounds like you would now have why are you doing this? To build a Frankenstein. Okay. I will say while you're doing this and kind of when did you finish the teleportation circle?
Yeah. Yeah.
So make an intelligence check from when you finish that.
come on.
Oh, 6. Okay. So you definitely won't know what this second. When you finish that spell, you suddenly know 2 circles. You have like at least an idea of like this seems like one, and like the scroll almost had like kind of, or that like in the margins like what these kind of look like. One of them you have like absolutely no clue where it might send you. The other one though, especially if they're talking with Chonk and the Platinum House, you kind of like walk over there with him, like just meandering, having something to do, and you look at this stained glass window, and then like look down at your book and look at that. And you're like, oh, that must have been why I wrote it down. You think that this might be tied to that stained glass window. To cast that spell, though, you do need consumable chalk.
Yeah, so I think that the second circle is the stained glass window.
No, you think that your first circle is the stained glass window. The second circle, you have absolutely no clue. And I won't say you think, you know that stained glass window is a circle.
Okay. So yeah, and so those are like I may not entirely understand how this works, but there's like permanent circles that exist, and then I have to create like a circle that gets me to one of the permanent circles.
Yes.
So I could, in theory, get one to the stained glass window from anywhere.
You could get to the stained glass anywhere if you have the chalk available to draw.
If I have the materials. And then the other one, I have the knowledge of how to connect to it, but I have no idea where I'll go.
Yes.
Ooh, that sounds extra fun. Okay.
Is it only a single person can transfer? Like, how does the properties work?
Like 10-foot circle that's open for 6 seconds. Whoever runs through it in those 6 seconds gets teleported. You do look that this circle, you don't know if it's going to take you inside or outside, and it's at least 20 feet off the ground, so you might just shoot out of a window.
That sounds like fun.
Okay, but you do need, I think it's 50 gold per use.
That sounds right. I looked it up at one point. Because
Um,
it's like, it says something about rare chalk or something.
yeah, it's rare chalk. That you could buy that where they were buying all their stuff. It is kind of like your incense in that. You're
Oh yeah.
not able to buy infinite amount, but I'll say you can get three uses of it.
I see. Yeah. Rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems worth 50 gold. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can find 3. You can buy 3 if you want to spend 150 gold to always be able to immediately teleport back to Zadash.
Perfect. I'll add
Welcome to level 10.
that.
No more just walking all the
Fast
time.
travel has been unlocked. It says in the upper left corner of our HUD.
Yes, you've located this location. Okay. No one's gonna go research. We can skip that part.
If I'm able to do both, I'd probably go to Chunk just because I haven't been to a structured religious institution in a while.
Yeah, so you at least the people here, you are owed 2 favors by them. And so I would say if you want to expend those 2 favors, you're given full access to whatever they have.
Sure.
I don't know when else you'll use these favors.
Yeah, might as well.
And I would say that will allow you and Chonk to both make religion checks with advantage to do your research. And then you can just tell me what if there's anything specific you want to research, or or if you're just helping Chonk out with his.
I mean, helping Chonk. I think at this point, I've gone through this harrowing journey, and I've sort of reset a bit to. And I think Thel's biggest question is to kind of tap into his deity and see what knowledge of the fate of his family, because he came back to his village right after war and it was just destroyed and he has no idea. So just a general inkling of alive, dead fate of family.
Okay.
More spiritual
Yeah,
journey than true research, but
Yeah, so I'll just say that Chonk is doing the actual research and you're doing just general, like, prayer and catharsis type stuff. So go ahead and make a religion check with advantage. He will also make one with advantage for what he's looking into. Okay. A 12. With a 12, you get not a ton, but a glimmer of like hope, like a soothing thought. Like your prayers aren't being totally answered, you aren't being confirmed, but you aren't feeling, you're put a bit at ease that someone somewhere of your family is alive. Where that is, especially now that you've traveled through planes, you've done all this, what that means, you have no clue. But in some capacity, some part of your family is still alive. Chonk got a 20, not a natural 20, but 20 total. And he gets enough information from that to like kind of, it's like looking at maps and that, like, know that like this is where I'm going to kind of start my search and some, you know, like people out there that I can talk to. But like while he was looking for spear type information, he did find an interesting piece of data or information called, oh, that's the wrong page. He learns about something like specific because you guys have kind of talked about the drow and your interest in there, and he learned about Cord's spear that drove Lolth, the Spider Queen, into the mountains, throwing her into the abyss and sealing her there. The spear is thought to have been lost in the Underdark as it pushed the Spider Queen down, and it was perhaps retrieved by one of the civilizations underneath Exandria. So just kind of learns about an ancient relic that was used to kill a god that might be under the world somewhere. So what we would say with that is plot hook.
Is there any really, really hot stuff down there?
Volcanoes come from the ground.
I saw that in my children's encyclopedia.
Okay. Yeah. That's the like kind of all of other. If anyone has anything else they want to do or anything else they want to buy, I kind of gave you the outline. Just say if you want to do it. We don't need to do any more than you just tell me you bought it and mark off in gold. But with that, you are Felix. While you are hanging out doing whatever you're doing, you get a little swoosh clunk in your Newmont's trick tube.
I open it immediately.
Yes, it is a letter from your good friend Giannis. He said that he's arrived in Zadash and would love to meet you. We're about 7 days out before the end of you bought more stuff, Raoul. Okay. About 35 or 7 days, sorry, before they're supposed to meet. You still haven't gotten any word about how that's supposed to go down. You would also know at this time that Ophelia's probably made it to town as well. And he says like it says I'm staying out of sight at an inn in the Penta Market called the 35 Triangles. And he says, come by. I know you have your crew of people, but this might be a place for discretion. So if you come, either come quietly, disguised, or maybe not in full force. Or if you want people to stand watch, that could also help. But I'd love to talk to you. Time is of the essence.
Great. I will figure out where's the 35 triangles.
It is in the Pentamarket. Do you know why it's called 35 triangles? Because there are 35 triangles in a pentagram.
Wow. Very, very clever.
I'm a genius. I did not do that math myself, though. I had to look it up.
I would like to make my way there, but prior to that, I will cast Disguise Self. I want to put on some, as much as I love the fancy clothes, I like to put on some less fancy clothes.
Yeah, you know, this is the kind of like a traveling merchant's place, so like middler class, like not better than where you are staying, but not like fancy. Kind of a people stop here when they're doing their sales at the Pentamarket. So a lot of merchant guild type people. So you know this city well enough to get kind of exactly the kind of disguise you want. Do you tell anyone else about this?
I think I'd like Christopher or Thel to come with me.
I was just like, I overheard it. I was again just like lurking.
Yes, because I took the letter out and I read it out loud
to yourself. Like you have this.
No,
weird
actually,
habit.
I read it and it went through. I forgot the earrings.
Well, actually, doesn't your warlock patron allow you to speak 30 feet?
I like the message hearing.
Yeah,
I was
with the
across
with
city
the
and just heard it.
what is it?
Yeah.
Awakened mind.
I'd say this would be like a case of like you like forgetting that you have these kind of abilities and you just accidentally use your awakened mind and just broadcast this to Christopher, who's just like standing like, huh? Yeah, so the two of you can go. The other two of you kind of are hanging out doing your own. This is maybe while you're doing your own things. Yeah, you kind of are shown in, and you see someone signal. No, you would not know. How would you? You're going into this place with looking different, looking for a guy that is trying to not be seen. How do you alert Giannis? You just send him I guess you have a little message too. Never mind. You can do that.
I use my awakened mind.
Okay, perfect. You just broadcast like if there's someone named Giannis in here, let's chat. And yeah, and sure enough, you see a guy kind of raise his hand in a booth in the back. This is like an open space inn, like almost all inns are, with a second floor with rooms. And he kind of raises his hand like at you, and then closes his tab and then walks upstairs. And you can follow him.
Okay, I follow.
Yes. You follow. He kind of is waiting for you at the end of the hall and like hurriedly tells you to come over. And he comes, lets you into the room, and he says, "I assume you're Felix or someone working on Felix's behalf."
I'm gonna take down disguise.
Okay. And you can see like an immediate like sigh. Like you guys haven't actually seen this dude in like 8 months. You just had your like correspondence with him. He's like, "It's good to see you, Felix." And so, Christopher, do you follow him up, or you just kind of sit in the basement?
Yeah, just like entryway, side of the door, like checking out the entry sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got message hearing if he needs to get me.
Yeah. Okay. It says so. Things. I think things are about to pop off for Marith. The little research I've done now, I've been kind of running and hiding because I think I got maybe a tad too close. But I do know Marith left about 2 months ago. Probably got here about six weeks ago, and the only reason for him to have come that early is he's planning something. The few people I've got to talk say that he's planning something for, you know, kind of end of the year, and I don't know what, but I feel like we gotta. It may behoove us to try and figure out more, but I've done as much as I can. You know, in the past little bit, I do know that he's staying somewhere up in the Tri-Spire. It's actually I know the exact location of the Tri-Spire. It's a kind of house complex owned by this old noble, or this noble lady, kind of crazy, named Lady Nixilana.
Nixlana.
Elfin names suck.
What is it? And how do you spell it?
Nixylana. Nixilana.
Nixylana.
Lanna.
Oh my god. Nixilana.
Vidorant is her last name. Vidorant. From here on out, she will be known as Lady Vidorant. Yeah, she's kind of crazy, but she's a good buyer for the Myriad. So seems Marith must have some pull to get to stay there. It seems that Marith has been leaving every morning to the West Outer Steads and doing something out there. I'm not quite sure. I haven't really convinced many others to follow and see what's going on. However, Saxon, of course, you know, his crew is all here, and they've been seen around their regular haunts. You know, the little birds I can pay a few gold are all helping me with that. It really truly feels like they have to be planning something, and that those rumors from a few months ago are very true, that he might be making a play for Zadash. Kind of tired of being just low member of the totem pole out in Diastock with no real ability to go up. But really, that's all hearsay without any real proof, and any attack on Marathon, we're all dead people or on the run for the rest of our lives. Although he's just a middleman, the Myriad doesn't look kindly on those that, you know, attack the people that have business running smoothly. Finding real proof of this alleged coup would probably be the best. Otherwise, whenever you're going to be finishing this competition you have with Saxon, probably definitely be on your toes, because Marith has a lot of pull with some groups, and you may be heading into some sort of ambush or unwinnable situation. So those are kind of all I can really give you. I can give you some more information about where he's been staying and all of that, but I just really wanted to give you an in-person warning about, you know, how dangerous things suddenly got. And I'm convinced you will win your competition, but there is no winning if the gentleman you're presenting it to is no longer the gentleman. So, and he can give you more information if you want.
Yeah, can you give me any more information about Saxon and his whereabouts and what he's been doing?
Yeah, he says Saxon has mostly been spending his time with Marith, but has been seeing, but has been out with his friends. But the rest of the gluten runners, you know that there are 3 other ones: Turf, Guile, and Ferris. The other 3 have been these notes. Yeah, he knows that they're there, and they're frequenting their old haunts, specifically this brothel slash bar that you remember being one of Saxon's favorites, called the Eunuch. It's way in the southwest corner of the city. It's, you know that he went there. You've maybe been there once, but it's been a long time, so it might take a little bit to find it. And they've also have some dingy safe house that they've been using in the far southeast of the city. So, and that he kind of has an address to, but still it's, you know, no, he doesn't have an address to that one. That's the one that would be hard to find. You can find the Eunuch easy enough. You know where it is, but the safe house is a safe house because people don't really know where it's at, and he hasn't gotten people to really tail them. Yeah. Other than that, he also gives you the address to the mansion. He says, "I think, you know, get whatever information you can out of them, out of, you know, if you can make your way, if you can figure out where Marith is going. It might be the, you know, secret vault of Vidorant that, you know, people talk about. You know, there's some people have more money than sense and like to make everything hard. Instead of a regular person using a bank, they use their own private details in that. But I truly don't know, and no one's been able to really figure it out yet for me. So I'll give you all that information. It sounds like you have about a week. Whatever you guys want to do, I trust you. You know, if you do find out that he is staying at or no, whoop, let me read that. It might also help if you go and talk with some of Lady Vidorant's ex-guards. I know that quite a few got laid off once Marith showed up. Seems like he brought his own guys and didn't want to totally rely on those paid for by that he doesn't have under his thumb. So,
any idea where to find them?
I have some names. Probably if you frequent some of the bars around, I'm sure you'll be able to find one or two of them.
Let me get their names.
Okay, their names are. Hold the phone. I need the book. Because they're gonna have whack ass fantasy names. Let's see. I know there's, he got like rifles through some papers that he has. Like there's Turolga Flathelm, Turolga. Jesus, man. Balladeer Josephine.
Vladimir
Geniana?
Josephine?
Quite literally, Joseph Owen. Geniana Dalmaritz. Pelton Kiwaris. Cavton Bouldersite. And Brewin Fibblezot. And so they're sure to be around. I mean, guards are all at bars all the time. A lot of them know each other, especially if they're ones that were working up in Tri-Spire. I'm sure you'll be able to find them relatively easy because they're, you know, kind of the cream of the crop types. So
we're gonna make sure we take care of Marith, and
yep,
everything will remain as it should, in order.
In order. There won't be a change in management. Yeah, and he like kind of realized like gives the idea like, or go ahead and roll an insight check on him. And he's a very shaky guy. What you can probably see is like he thinks he's fucked if this goes down. So
I think I shake his hand and like pull him close and say, this will be okay.
hey,
I appreciate all of your work, my friend.
mm-hmm. Says, hey, I'm only here because you saved me once. Hopefully, I just hope to repay the favor sometime. Now, it probably would be good for you to get out of here, and I might be going and staying at a different hotel for a bit. If I need to get to you, I just go through the normal means. Yep. Okay. So now you guys have some tasks that you can do.
Well, I'd like to maybe have us split up in, not individually, but 2 and 2, try and find one of these guards somewhere.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the distance of these earrings again? It's like 100 feet or something like
150 feet? I think it's 100
so-
feet because it's the message cantrip, so I think it's 150.
that. Okay, so we can't really message that way, but we could definitely try and get some information.
Yeah, just you guys
Separately.
both split up, and you have, now that you guys all smell good, you have full reign over the city. There is no one is stopping you in the I'm having a brain fart in the going into the Tri-Spire. So, yeah. What are the two parties going? Is Christopher gone for a second? If so, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Seems that way.
Alyssa, August, and I went skiing yesterday, and it took us 2 hours to get to the mountain.
Where'd you go?
Alta. 20 minutes, 2 hours. And then coming home, it took an hour. 3 hours of driving for 5 hours of skiing.
That sucks.
Yeah. I think any other day, it was a powder day on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good skiing. But, man. Yeah, it took us a half an hour to get from the from one light to another light. It took us 15 minutes to go to pass a light, and we were 30 cars behind it because no one knows how to fucking merge. If I honestly think it would be faster driving there if they closed it down to one lane. This did not allow anyone to try to merge, just have a single lane. But it was worth it. It was a very fun day. We listened to the entire 90s playlist on Spotify.
It was Chris again.
Well,
He was back.
yeah. What do you think your groups are going to be?
I
It would
think
probably
we
be. Oh, God.
a big boy and a squishy boy.
Yeah.
Group.
Yeah.
So
The smart ones and the strong ones.
I think me and Thel and Christopher and Karen.
Eric. Yeah, fine with me.
I think that's great. So we'll just start with Thel and Felix. Go ahead and make a. You can either make an investigation check or persuasion check.
Make an investigation.
Then you can make a persuasion check, Thel. Just realize Thel has really good persuasion. Ah, shit. When it counts. Thel's out just kind of like you guys go around and you talk up some guards and I think how would investigating this work? Kind of like while you're chatting them up, you're making some headway. Like you kind of get like, oh, they like working together. Like they like frequent these spots, and Felix like with that is going like, okay, yeah, I know that spot, but no, people like that bar it probably isn't that. Like, let's not trust this person. So it's like, well, Thel is chatting up, people gregariously happy to be helping and seeing them just talking, war story, that type things, and getting the information. Felix is without a doubt like crossing out the bad ones and going like, okay, here for sure. It sounds like they have a poker night and you quickly get the location of 3 of them that meet at a bar like every Wednesday, even like during the middle of the day because they're unemployed right now. And that bar's name is the Whistle Pig. And that is where you would find 3 of these guards. We'll say that you find just left this open.
I can give you their names based on phonics. Olga Flathelm, Gianna, Giniana. She's a whiz.
Yeah. You find Trolga, Balandir, and Giniana. All are at the Whistle Pig pretty much every like 3rd day of the week, which would be tomorrow afternoon. You kind of like quickly, and you find this out like you have the rest of the day to do other stuff. Like you found this at least where these 3 are so quickly. What about the other 2? I'll give you the same thing. If you make an investigation or a persuasion check to figure out where some of these people stay.
Nat 20.
Holy shit!
Hell yeah!
And what does Christopher get for his persuasion? I assume you're doing that instead of investigation, or is it 6s? So
Close.
Close. Pretty much the exact same thing. I will not repeat what I just said. Like, you guys go through the same same thing. And I think, like, between just the imposing figure of Christopher and just your awkwardness, like, you get the information not in like this jovial fun way, but more just like hey, tell me about this. Like, you like, it almost would have made more sense for you to be intimidation over persuasion. But
It's like when some big dude's being nice, it's like kind of awkward. Like,
off-putting.
is that like a hidden threat? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you get the same information in a different way. And I would say, just by luck of the draw, you find the other three that go to a different it's actually like they have like a dinner group every Thursday, not Thursday, whatever Thursday is in this world. So the like in the next 2 days, you'd be able to meet the other three, which would be Pelton Kiwaris, Cavton Bouldersight, and Breleen Fizzlezot. Yeah, and so you guys all kind of reconvene. You have a day before you could meet with these people if there's something else you want to do in that day. We'll just say they both meet on Wednesdays in different groups. So you have all of the next day to do something else if you want to, while you wait for kind of the evening to go meet with these people.
We try and see if we can track Meredith in any way.
Yeah. You guys can all
down at the eunuch. See if he makes his
the eunuch.
appearance there.
Meredith is going to the eunuch. That is where the loom runners are. Meredith goes somewhere from the mansion in the Tri-Spire.
Okay.
So those would be two, like, if you want to like go and see or try to chat up or spy on the loom runners, you do that at the eunuch. If you wanted to trail Meredith, you would go up to there.
No, I want to trail Meredith.
Go on trail. Okay. Yeah, let's get to that then. New page. Okay. I think this is really like, you guys get there early in the morning, because what Giannis had told you is that around, like post breakfast, he just leaves, gets in a carriage. Like this compound has probably like, it's not hard to see. It has like probably like a 5-foot wall with some wrought iron spikes on top, like those classic walls around buildings. It's got like a 2-story, like large mansion, like kind of C-shaped back there, and just kind of a little, like, every day a carriage comes up. Meredith walks out and then leaves, and then the carriage goes. So what do you guys do in the morning to kind of prepare to try to trail him? Like, all around this is a residential neighborhood, so like loitering probably would be noticed, things like that.
Is there like a nearby park or anything we can like hang out at and read the newspaper?
Yeah, there's like a public garden that's maybe like 2 blocks away,
across the street,
perfectly across the street on top of a roof. No, about 2 blocks away. So like you can see, like, if you're watching, you see a carriage start pulling up. Are you all sitting there, or what does each person want to do?
Just having a little picnic, a morning brunch picnic.
Eating some of the bread that Christopher's been making for the past 2 weeks.
Some bread and potatoes.
Yeah. Are y'all just hanging out together, or are you gonna split up in any way? Get more eyes, or doesn't matter in any way, but
I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna follow Felix and following. Just kind of like keep an eye out for the back. Like I don't know.
you're going to
counter spying.
okay. So you're just kind of going to be following not lackadaisically, but yeah, as if you're tailing him, but he's tailing someone else, type of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else doing anything? And you have full use of your abilities here. You can use magic. You can do that. So. Mm-hmm.
I might be. I mean, maybe I'll have Owl kind of in like a opportune position, and I'll be looking through Owl.
That's a great. You can post him up on like on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher, I would like you to be reminded of the ability you just got from your ancestral guardians.
Oh yeah, that thing.
It's brand new, so I would like to just remind you about it. I just thought about this.
Is there clairvoyance? Is that right?
Clairvoyance, yes.
Does that it attaches to a place? Can I attach it to like something that like goes around, or?
I would probably read as long. Let's see what the world says. It doesn't move. It's on the thing. It says the sensor remains in place for the duration. I would say in place means it's not like a sticky bomb that you can put on there.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Well, now we know, because I thought that it didn't. It might be able to move.
We put it on like a wagon or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Then I thought about that. You could just make like you essentially have a familiar. You cast on like your gray bag of tricks. You just cast it on that and just have it run around and be your spy goggles. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't cast it in there to begin with and then have it, dispel it afterwards. So it's still usable, but yeah. So Owl's flying around. You're going to like kind of get up. Like you do know it's a carriage, so it's going to be you're going to have to run to keep up. But I would say you could probably since you don't have to take roads and you can take alleys, you could keep up. Otherwise, Felix, but just probably have to have some rolls on it.
What are the rooftops like?
This is a residential area of all the rich people. The rooftops you could definitely jump across. It's going to be a harder stealth check.
Yeah, I'll stick to the alleys.
All right, fine.
Okay. So you kind of all have your thing, and Owl is going to be able to go, but if you're looking through Owl's eyes, Ryan, you are blind. So maybe just we can say you're with Thel and you are together. Okay. Kind of, like man helping the blind.
I'm just on his back.
Yeah. holding like this. Yeah, so I would like, I guess let's first start with a perception check using Owl's stats. Does Owl have keen sight? Or just keen hearing, or?
Yeah, keen hearing and sight.
Okay, so you do this check with advantage to watch out.
And what check am I doing? Perception?
Perception. Oh, so there's a baby. $12. Okay, with a 12, I would say you, with a 12, you notice, Owl notices, and you see like, it's what, 4 people kind of exit the house. It looks like 2 guards and 2 people. One is obviously Marith, but the other you don't really recognize. So 4 people leave and enter the carriage.
Okay.
DJ, is Theo feeling better? I know that he was a little sick. Courtney was telling me.
Yeah, we're doing better. He got RSV, so, but he's
Oh
been
no,
better.
does he have the balding, baby balding?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
The
looks
worst.
Looks like a middle-aged bald man.
You can tell from the
that's
bag, it's like really, really bare on top.
Yeah, real thick back hair still though.
Hey, hopefully he gets his dad's hair, because there's no balding going on there.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you notice 4 people start walking in. Are you just gonna start sending
Did we recognize any of those people, or is it all?
So since it's only you notice Marith and 2 guards, these guards are wearing blue or just kind of like chain shirts, not like full chainmail, but like chain shirts with kind of a blue and gold stitched finery over it, and on like kind of the chest is like tiara, kind of like with four gems on it, stitched in. But you notice those are just look like random guards. You notice Marith, and you do not notice you do not know who this 4th person is, but you do know that there is a 4th person that is obviously not a guard. So that's what you get with the 12. Yeah, they start heading out, and Owl can be up above, and Christopher, you're kind of following behind, a little bit further behind. Make a perception check. Christopher first. Eight. It is all clear. You are all clear. No problems anywhere.
Whistling to myself.
Just you're just you lose yourself in the busking. And, like, because you want to try out like the little smoke monsters and your pipes, and then you're like, oh shit, I need to be watching. And you guys all start going off. Felix, I would like you to first make a stealth check. Very good. Okay. Looking good. Actually, I don't want to get those first. Never mind. Yeah, you start going, and now I will say do an investigation check. Or what do you think skill you would use to start tailing these people?
I mean, I think maybe like deception, honestly, be like staying hidden, and I don't know. I mean,
like, okay, I will let you use whatever ability you think. I will say that if you are using Or first, let's give Owl a perception check to see how well they're following the.
Could I use dexterity, just in general dexterity, for like being able to make my way through the alleys without like losing them?
Yeah, I think dexterity makes perfect sense. And I will say, with a 15, Owl definitely has an eye on them, at least for now. The biggest problem will be making sure that Owl can follow them and not lose his connection to
me.
to you. So I'll let you do this dexterity check with advantage, because even if it takes a little bit longer, you have eyes in the sky essentially. 21. You are able to, and you're kind of able to, with the information, like, I don't know exactly how you're relaying it to guys. You guys need to get Rary's telepathic bond so you can just always talk in each other's heads.
Yeah, you could just give it to us somehow.
What level spell is it?
Once per day, magical item.
Yeah. Rary's telepathic bond. It's just called telepathic bond now, I guess. It's a 5th level spell.
Ooh.
There's a 5th level spell available at Pumat's. You just have to get lucky on your roll.
Have to go back.
No, you are. I guess this is like you between Carrick and Thel. You need to be able to maintain this link, which essentially means staying relatively close. So you are blind, Carrick, and Thel, you are kind of helping him. So I would probably say Carrick, make a dexterity saving throw, or make an athletics check, maybe Thel, to see like how well you can like hobble him along. Man, rolled like dog doo-doo. So you do not get advantage on this dexterity save, but you can roll a dexterity save, Carrick. Okay, with the 17, you are able to like move at a decent enough clip where you can like position Owl to where he's close enough and you can still keep your eyes on it as Felix kind of moves. So I would say for this first part, you're able to communicate using your earrings and all of that stuff that you have available to communicate, and even just shouting for this first leg of the journey. You guys get to like where the gate is to get out of the Tri-Spire and down into the lower part of the city. And that is, you guys kind of all are able to get there together because those were pretty much all successful rolls before the carriage is there. Christopher, you are behind everybody because you forgot. Do you any way you want to catch up?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you catch up?
The roofs.
Okay. Are you caring about being seen?
I'll try not to.
Okay, then roll a stealth check. here are your options. You can either do the athletics check you have to do to catch up by bounding over a mountain or bounding over that straight, or you can be sneaky and do it with disadvantage.
I'm gonna turn it into like a parkour demonstration. Try and make it look like a show.
Okay, make a performance check.
That's better. Yeah. All right.
Nope, you are rolling this with disadvantage at this point. Oh.
Oh, geez.
No.
You are trying to do parkour and you trip and just like plummet off of a 2-story building. You take 8 points of damage as you face plant onto the ground. And as you face plant on the ground, you face plant in just surrounded by 3 guards. And you are essentially being escorted out of this place, unfortunately, to the not the exit that you should be going to. For all intents and purposes, you are out of this tailing. You
Can
fail.
I send that to Felix, like a message earring? Or is that...
You send it out in hope. Roll a d20 luck check to see if you are close enough. I mean, I should say you can't because you got a natural 1, but I punished you enough for your natural 1.
I'm like swollen, like trying to like talk with like a swollen tongue.
You just are, I've been made.
Whoa! I'm just whoa!
Yeah, you just yelled that into the earring.
And he's
Felix,
just
you
like,
don't
yeah,
hear
whatever.
anything
There he
because-
goes again.
Because no, he doesn't even hear you because you are like half a mile away from him. Because you were bounding off in the wrong direction. God,
That was great.
failed rolls are so fun. As long as you can keep advancing your plot without them. So next up, we're now at the second leg of the 3 legs of this tailing. Anything you guys want to do to prepare?
Since we're out of the tri-spire, what is going up to the roof like situation? Like, would that be crazy at this point?
It is still like, I will say that the chances of being caught are lower. It's still a kind of weird thing to be up on roofs. You probably, like, even though there's more people, you're probably less likely to be noticed because people are going about their business, whereas up in the rich people area, they're just sitting and relaxing. Like, of someone jumping across people's roofs in the rich area gets noticed. Here, it's just like, oh, those dang kids.
Cool.
So.
I'd like to go up on the roof.
Yeah, you can get up on the roof easy enough because of your second story work. So we'll say you can even like, you guys can exit in front of the you guys get there before the carriage because the carriage is kind of stopped and like being checked as it goes out through the gate. So you're able to get out and kind of set your vantage points out ahead of it instead of behind. What do Carrick and Thel want to do? Set up? Are we just doing the same play or?
Yeah, I think, I mean, Carrick and Owl is probably a great way to tail it, so I just have to kind of keep Carrick moving in a somewhat natural-looking manner.
Mm-hmm. I'll say just since we aren't doing the same roles, because it's more fun to make you can't just repeat the same thing over and over. This time, the kind of like scary thing last time was losing connection, not being able to talk. So I would like an intelligence check from Carrick or Arcana. You can do Arcana, we'll say. No, this is just intelligence to try and triangulate Owl to be like where you can hover and stay relatively so like you're moving underneath like where Felix is getting out ahead. It makes sense what I'm trying to describe.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
You're creating a thing in the sky in a triangle to where you're always within 150 feet of each other. 12. Okay, it is. I will say this is going to be a higher DC for you and Thel to keep up. Felix, go ahead and I would say roll stealth or acrobatics as you are going to be going over the roofs. Do not get in that. I can't have two people fall off the roof and beef it. Okay, yeah, with the stealth, you are going a bit slower, but you're making sure, or I guess I should do that. Okay.
What do you need me to roll?
Are athletics. It's the same roll. You'll do athletics, and nice. Okay, I will say, Carrick, you have to roll another dexterity save. 10. I would say that the 19 like barely cancels it out, and the fact we had a 16 up there, you barely you do definitely you lose connection from Al for a minute, and then lose connection talking to actually, how the hell are you even talking to Felix right now? Because
I don't know that we
ear is
can
gone. No,
Yeah.
I would say it's you between that you're just shouting it out, and so at that point that's the only way for you to communicate anything is just shouting, and the things are kind of falling apart right now.
Yeah.
But not totally. Between the 16 and 19 and not a complete failure, you all kind of get to where you think it's going to be. I need a perception check from Owl, and Felix a perception check at disadvantage. This is kind of almost get your son of a gun. I would say a 14 is enough to know you guys are about you just catch a glimpse of the carriage going down, but you guys are off by about 3 blocks. All that you know is that last you saw it, it is heading south. It had kind of moved east most of the way, and now it's heading straight south, but you do not know from there where it's going. So the next set of checks will be harder. Anything else you want to do? This is the last round of checks.
I guess not.
Christopher, you've been escorted out. Make a luck check. Just a d20 roll. The 15. You are going to be able to help in some way if you come up with something clever to do. But it'll probably be at disadvantage.
I'm going to try a bardic inspiration. Just I'm going to find a central square, run in there, and just try and send out some
good vibes.
Good vibes, yeah. Just a catchy song we've all been singing on the road. That's
okay. Make a performance check, and I will let you use Constitution on this because it's gotta be fucking loud for anyone to hear it.
Was that bagpipes with Constitution?
Yep.
All right.
Oh Lord. You play out this droning tune, and the smoke from the monsters comes out, and it's almost like this cool dragon spiral that all of you guys look back and see. And I will give everyone, because 27 is pretty gosh dang good. Everyone gets a D4 onto their next roll.
So I was thinking too, maybe I could. I'm kind of half carrying Carrick, who seems like maybe he's passed out or something. And you know, we've been in town a number of days, and maybe I've befriended some of the guards. So I'm curious if I could try and see if any of the guards notice the carriage and be like, my drunk friend was supposed to be in this fancy carriage that just left, and he was passed out and didn't know they left. So I'm trying to catch up. Do you know which way they went?
Yeah, awesome. Make a persuasion check with a D4 if you want it.
I may hold it till the next roll, I guess.
Okay. They say, oh yeah. Yeah. Are you talking? And you gave enough information. Like, yeah, it looked like, you know, went down south that way. Like, you like ran up to where you saw or yelled that it went south, and they said, yeah, it looked like it turned a bit east. Like, I don't know why a fancy car would be coming down to this neck of the woods, but I mean, I guess we every once in a while we see something go down into that, you know, southwestern. I said east, I meant west. That southwestern corner of the building. Like, normally it ends up somewhere close to the wall. But good luck. Okay, with that, are you doing your same thing, watching through the eyes and making a dex save?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I would say you don't really have a ton of help from because he took his time to do that. He's not watching you as much, so go ahead and make another dexterity save. I probably should have said you could have changed your spells out because this was a new day and you knew you were going to do this, but I don't know if that would have mattered.
I don't know what spells would have been useful for this task anyway.
Okay, a 15. It's once again like you're just right on that edge. You are going to be able to provide help, but it's kind of getting to where Felix has got to do well catching up to see that. You know, I would say with a 15, you know that you're going to be able to have a general area. It might take the rest of the day to actually figure it out, and you might miss a whole bunch of stuff, versus if Felix can, you can add your D4 to that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, with a 19, you can now, like, you're going to be able to give like, between the knowing which direction to start walking and to send Owl, you've got a good like triangulation going where you're going to be able to shout out like just simple things like left, right, that. And you realize like you were trying to be too specific last time, and that's probably what tripped everyone up. And so you have a good view of everything. So Felix, like at this point, I don't like stealth doesn't matter. You're in the slums. This could definitely just be weird kids doing weird stuff or robbers, and not a big deal. But I would say
running into people in the rooftops.
You just have to catch up.
Okay.
I think that's after those last rolls, like your hand is forced unless you have something super clever to do.
I don't have anything super clever right now.
Yeah.
I think if I could just use acrobatics to keep jumping from rooftop to rooftop, maybe trying to speed up.
Yeah, I'll give you an acrobatics to do what to essentially do what Christopher was trying to do as the parkour demonstration. Yeah, with the D4.
much do we get? I got a 24 without a D4. So,
You want to add a D4?
you know what? I'll add it, and then just to see if anything. Well, I mean, what could be better? If I get over a 25, which I guess is probably
Technically, is a different DC range, but
so 28.
D4s. These D4s came in clutch. Good job, bagpipes.
Just thinking like don't stop believing on bagpipes or something.
So I was thinking about this, Jake. It might mean something to other people, but Christopher is the reverse Fig. He is a barbarian that wants to be going to bard class, versus Fig is a bard going to barbarian classes. And Christian Applebee's is fucking insane.
Yep.
That last episode was insane. Going to ride a motorcycle off a jump into a pool full of tartar sauce.
Shrimp party.
Shrimp Party 2024. You do catch up. And because of your 28, with you catch up, you actually more than catch up. You're able to get in a good little posted spot, hidden, as the carriage stops in front of this nondescript. Where is this? You are in a rundown neighborhood, but the streets and alleyways around are unobstructed. Small windows glint from high on the vault. Okay, this is a vault. This is kind of like looking at it now, you think it's a vault, much like Gianna said about Bitterant's like weird vault that she has. Two guards in that same stitching stand on a second floor balcony, while other guards patrol around the structure at ground level. And that is where this place stops. And I will give you a perception check as people are walking out of the
My perception has been shit.
just dog shit.
This episode this session has just been complete trash for perception.
Yep. You are kind of in the same boat. You see four people come out. You do recognize Marith. That's easy to recognize. But the fourth person, you only see the back of their head, and you have no clue who this fourth person is.
Okay.
But you are now able to. You are where you need to be. Christopher, I have no clue how you're going to find your friends. But
Can I just find Chonk and we're just gonna reminisce about orc stuff?
yeah, you can.
Maybe
probably-
Chonk can help out.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Scott, how much longer do you think?
We're wrapping up right now.
Okay. Almost done, so.
Yeah, so you are out. The other two of you are able to find your way over there now that Felix can kind of like give you like how to get there without being seen by the guards. And you guys all convene sitting above this vault area. There's kind of a lumber yard, a bar in the area. Maybe you all meet at the bar, and then two of you can sit here for a little bit and start casing while someone goes and finds Christopher. But we'll say, no matter how you do it, Christopher is able to join back up with you. It takes a little bit. Someone's always on watch. Nothing really happens over the next 2 hours as Christopher finally finds you. And
Like a Disneyland thing, like if you get lost, meet up at the spire, you know?
Yep, exactly. Just sending messages until it hits. Yeah, so you guys are at this vault ready to case it, to kind of see what's going on here. Who knows how long it'll take, but you have that. And that is it. Good job, everybody.
Thanks, Scott.
Mm-hmm.